Hello everyone. So I'm here again with another video. Okay, this video this set I have here is the SPM SEBENAR 2025 for Addmaths paper 1. Okay. So I'm sure most of you watching this you must be very confused you because the date I'm recording this is December, let's see, December 16. And you just finished your Addmaths exam yesterday. Yeah. So it's like you already finished your SPM. The batch 08 student already finished your SPM yesterday. And here I am, one day, I'm doing the video explaining this paper, right? So let me tell you how I get this paper. I also don't know how, but in Telegram, it's like everyone is spreading around this SPM paper. Yeah, so I get my hands on this paper and I feel like why not I just make a video going through it. Because I'll make this video in the future anyway. Yeah, like for next year students, right? So the date I'm recording this is December 16. I don't know when you guys will be watching this lah, okay? But I'm recording this December 16. And the batch 08 just finished the Addmaths paper yesterday, December 15. And I'm recording this now, okay? And I'm sure most people watching this video right now are the batch 08 students that is like almost finished with their SPM already lah. Yeah, you only have like Bahasa Cina left, right? And account, I think. Yeah. So uh I feel like most of you watching this, it will be like, okay, like going through all your mistakes lah. I'm sure later when you're watching this, you'll be like, oh my god, I did this wrongly, or yeah, I feel like you guys will be like just yeah, yeah, most of you watching is like you guys will just be okay, yeah, checking your mistakes and stuff like that lah. Yeah, so one student sent the PDF to me, so I decided to just go through this paper lah. Okay, I think that's enough for the introduction. Let's start the video now. Let's start going through this paper. Okay, so this is bahagian A number 1. Oh, one more thing. I'm doing this without the schema. Yeah, I don't have the schema. And also I don't have the paper 2. Yeah. For some reason, only the paper 1 is open to the public. Yeah, the paper 2 is I don't have. Eh. So I also don't have the schema. So but it's fine. Yeah, I still can do it without the schema. Yeah. So not a big deal to me. I can still do it. Yeah, so I'll just go through the paper now, and yeah, hopefully you guys can, how to say, most student that the best 08 student can, okay. Yeah, we can, how to say, you can, I'm sure you still remember what you did in the exam because it's just yesterday. Yeah, like it just finished. So I'm sure it's still in your head somewhere, like you still remember what you did. So I'm sure you can recall some of it, and yeah, and this video maybe can help some most of you to recall your mistakes. And yeah, and we can have some chat on the comment section. You can tell me like what you did, or you share to me like what happened during the exam. Like maybe you don't have enough time to finish it, or you make some careless mistake. Yeah, it's like, yeah, we can make it like a fun interaction. Okay, all right lah, I think enough talking already. I talk so the introduction so long for this video. Yeah, because I didn't expect to be making this video also. Yeah, I thought my last video is like my last video for the best 08 already, but I didn't know they would open this paper to the public so quickly. Yeah, yeah, I don't know how, I don't know where it come from lah, but it's like spread all over the Telegram already, this paper. So I saw it, I just, yeah, decided to make this video lah. Yeah, I will do it in the future anyway, so why not just do it now? Yeah, and I'm free, so I'm just gonna do it lah. Okay lah, that's enough talking already. I will start now. Number 1, the following information refers to the equation of straight line AB and CD. So equation of straight line from 4 chapter 6 lah, the coordinate geometry chapter. Okay, okay, chapter 6 is linear law, so it should be chapter 7. Sorry. Okay, such that P is constant. Okay, find the value of P if both straight lines are parallel. So this is the keyword right here, parallel. So when two lines are parallel, they have the same gradient. The M1 equals to M2. So we have to find the gradient. Use gradient lah. Find gradient of AB, find gradient of CD, and then equal. So let's find the gradient of AB. So the AB line is 2y minus 8x plus 1 equals 0. Okay, you cannot say the gradient is negative 8. No, you have to susun jadi linear form dulu. Linear form means y equals mx plus c. Because when you susun dalam format ni, then you boleh baca dia punya gradient. Okay, so let's arrange in this format. the y equals mx plus c format. So we want the y to be single, so I will leave the 2y. Negative 8x pergi sana jadi 8x, plus 1 pergi sana jadi minus 1. But linear form dia mesti 1y. Dia tak boleh 2y. So kena bahagi 2 jadi 4x, bahagi 2 jadi 1 over 4. 1 over 2 here. So as you can see, the gradient is 4. The gradient of this line is 4. Now for the CD garisan, the equation is y equals 6px plus 3. Oh, this is already written in the y equal mx plus c format. Dia sudah tulis dalam bentuk y sama dengan mx plus c. And dia punya y sudah single dah. So maksudnya kita boleh terus baca dia punya gradient. Just look at the value before x, the coefficient of x 6p. And since they are both parallel, dua gradient ni akan sama. 4 equals to 6p. Okay, I think it's better to write 6p equals 4. I mean, it's the same thing lah, whatever. And then p equals 4 over 6, which is 2 over 3. And that's how you get the 2 marks. All right, done. Number 2, this is definitely linear law, form 4, chapter 6. Okay, diagram 2 shows the graph of straight line big Y against big X. If they give you big Y, big X means they don't want to let you know what is the Y-axis and the X-axis. That's why they use big Y, big X. Okay, so huruf besar, maksudnya dia tak nak bagi tahu you what's the Y-axis and the X-axis. Okay, but they could give us some points here, this 3 and the negative 6. Okay, 3 is actually the Y-intercept, the pintasan Y. So dia punya X mesti kosong. Yang ini negative 6, this is the x-intercept pintasan x. So dia punya y mesti kosong. So that's the full coordinate, negative 6, 0. A, tentukan kecerunan. Determine the gradient of straight line. This is easy. Just use the gradient formula. Alright, the gradient formula is y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. Ataupun you boleh cakap, ambil beza y bahagi beza x. So you boleh ambil 3 minus 0 over 0 minus negative 6. Tapi, ada lagi satu gradient formula. We jarang use this formula. The formula is negative y-intercept over x-intercept. Negative pintasan y bahagi pintasan x. Okay, this gradient formula kita jarang guna. Yeah, we jarang use this formula. Because not always they will give you the y-intercept and the x-intercept, right? But for this question, they give you. So why not I just use this formula? So it becomes negative bracket y-intercept, which is 3 over x-intercept, negative 6. And the final answer, 1 over 2. Of course, if you do this formula, you will get the same answer also lah. You can try yourself. So yeah, so it's only worth 1 mark. So nothing special here. Okay, B. Hence express small y in terms of small x. Okay, this is a problem because they give us here is big Y, big X. But they did mention here such that the big X is the small x square y. So they tell you now the x-axis is actually x square y. You can see they use small letter here. That means this is the x-axis lah, the real x-axis. And then the big Y is y over x. Okay, this is very weird. Let me tell you why is it weird. Usually, when you write the linear form y equal mx plus c, the x, it can be 1 over x, it can be x squared, it can also sometimes be log x, it can be whatever lah. But most of the time, you will not see the small y inside here. Yeah, it will be 1 over x, x squared, log x. But usually you won't see the y here one. Y always appears sekali saja and it's always here. It could be like y squared or log y or 1 over y, whatever. But you will usually don't see the y here one. But for this question, there's y here. Yeah, something that I noticed. Okay, yeah, something that I noticed. And it's like the first time I see there's the small y in the x-axis. Yeah, usually this doesn't happen one lah. But it's okay. We can still do it. Okay, so express small y in terms of small x. Of course, first of all, you already know the big Y have to write it. Okay, they want small y in terms of small x. So later, when you write your equation, it will be y equal mx plus c. And the big Y, big X, you will just write this and this lah. But if you follow my videos, if you know me, I always tell my students, find the gradient and y-intercept first. Yeah, find the gradient and y-intercept first. That's how I always do it. Okay, what's the gradient? Oh, sudah cari tadi 1 over 2. So why not just letak dalam? And then what about the C? Tak payah cari dah. It's already given. C is the pintasan y 3, 3. So just put it in like that. Right? Okay, what if they never give us the C? What if they never give us the C? If dia tak bagi C, then what you will do is just write C here and then the big X, big Y ganti dengan salah satu point yang ada passes through. Ya, kalau dia tak bagi C lah, kalau dia tak bagi. Okay, tapi ini sudah bagi, so kita masuk saja. So it's good. Now, sekarang baru kita ganti big Y and big X. So the big Y replace with small y over X and then the big X ganti with the small X square Y plus 3. Because after all, they want the small y in terms of small x. So if you stop here, it's wrong lah. If you stop here, it's wrong because this one is big Y in terms of big X. They want small y in terms of small x. That's why you have to replace with the the small x, small y here. All right, you are not done yet. They want small y in terms of small x. It means small y have to be single. So what you have to do first, of course, the x here kena pindah atas jadi darab. So it becomes 1 over 2 x power 3y plus 3. Okay, some student might, this one also darab 3x. Okay, some student might think this is finished already, but no, 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 no. Dear mouse, small y in terms of small x, it means small y have to be single. And I told you already, this question is a bit weird. Usually you don't see the y in the x-axis one, but this question, the other y dekat x-axis. That means if you want to find y single, this y and this y, you have to put it on the same side and factorize. Yeah, yeah. So what I will do is I'll pindah this over here. So yang ni plus 1 over 2 hantar jadi minus 1 over 2 x power 3y. But I will write it like this, x power 3y over 2. Okay, it's the same lah, it's the same. Because this one x power 3y means dia darab atas. So I'll just write atas and then pindah sini jadi minus. Now I will factor out the y. Yeah, now I will factorize out the y. So because both these two terms can divide by y. So what is y divided by y? 1. And then from here, when you divide by y, you will left with x power 3 over. Now, how do you jadikan the y single? Pindah this whole thing there, right? But before I pindah, I will jadikan benda ni single fraction dulu. Because if I pindah this here, now then it will become 3x kena bahagi dengan ni, which is a bit difficult to do, right? Because this is like two terms and you have one fraction here. So that's why I will not pindah first. I will leave it like this. I will jadikan yang ni single fraction dulu. Lepas tu baru pindah jadi bahagi. Yeah, because when it's a single fraction, it's much more easy to do. Yeah, it's much more easy to divide that fraction. It's much more easy to divide when it's a single fraction. Okay? So how do you make it into single fraction? Very easy. Just 1 darab 2. And then they can jadi 2 minus x power 3 over 2 like that. Basically, you just samakan dia punya penyebut. You samakan dia punya denominator. So, yeah, 1 times 2 is 2. And then now it becomes a single fraction. Now you pindah the whole thing there. It becomes 3x. Divide by this whole thing right here, 2 minus x power 3 over 2. So now it becomes y equals 3x times 2 over 2 minus x power 3. You all know this, right? Ya, kalau bahagi fraction, dia boleh jadi darab and then terbalikkan dia punya atas bawah punya number. So now it becomes y equals, okay, ini kalau darab, dia darab atas saja. So 6x over 2 minus x power 3 is your final answer. Okay, I don't think you can go any further already. This is like already in the simplest form. Yeah, you can't really do anything already. You cannot cut this one. You don't tell me you cut. No, cannot. The other minus ini, so tak boleh potong. And the x also cannot do already. So this is the final answer. All right. So small y in terms of small x, that's all. All right, number 3. Okay, sequence, what chapter? Form 4, chapter 5, the Janjang chapter, progression. Okay, let's see whether it's arithmetic or geometric. Okay, listing out all the terms is not accepted. Okay, ini tak penting. Given A, sorry, this is not A. Given a sequence of number is 9, 3, -3, -105. A, find the number of terms of the sequence. Okay, I need to know whether it's arithmetic or geometric first. So 9 jadi 3. So I know 9 jadi 3, dia boleh bahagi 3, tapi dia boleh juga tolak 6. Agree? 9 minus 6 is 3, right? But 9 divided 3 is also 3. But if it's divide 3, it doesn't work because 9 divided 3 is 3, but 3 divided 3 is not -3. 3 divided 3 is 1. So definitely it's not a geometric. It has to be an arithmetic because 9 minus 6 is 3 and 3 minus 6 memang dapat -3. So it's an arithmetic. So what you have to do, write down the A and the D. Kalau geometric, tulis AR. Okay? Kalau arithmetic, tulis AD. So A is the first term 9, D is the common difference, the basal. So 3 minus 9, which is -6. Okay, so now we focus on what the question wants. Find the number of terms of the sequence. Yeah, because they give you the last term. Dia ada bagi sebutan yang last. So ini adalah first term. Ada satu term sini. Sini ada 2. Sini term ketiga. Yang ini tak tahu term ke berapa. Ini Tn. Okay, so they want to find number of terms. It means dia tanya from here to here ada berapa terms. You jangan cakap ada 4. You jangan cakap, oh sir, 1, 2, 3, 4. Bukan 4 lah. Sini ada dot. So kalau ada dot, maksudnya dalam dot ni ada lagi a few terms dekat situ and kita tak tahu ada berapa. Sebab tu kita tak boleh cakap ada 4 term. That's why this one is not T4, it's Tn. Kita tak tahu and kita nak cari n tu. So what formula you will use? The Tn formula, A plus n minus 1D. But you already have the Tn answer lah. So saya akan buat Tn sama dengan -105 That's the answer. Negative 105 is the answer. And then on the left side, you buat formula ni. A plus N minus 1D. The A is 9. N kita tak tahu. Kita memang nak cari N tu. So just tulis je N minus 1. And then D is negative 6. But nanti negative 6 ni kena darab. So that's why I put a bracket like that. So that you know it's have two times. So now when you have one term times two terms, the correct way is like that. Negative 6 times N, negative 6 N, negative 6 times negative 1, positive 6. And there's still a 9 here, and there's a negative 105. And now you can focus on finding N. So how to find N? Jadikan N single lah. Okay, 9 dengan 6 boleh buat. 9 plus 6, 15. Pindah sana jadi negative 15. So tekan negative 105 minus 15. Dapat negative 114. Betul lah. Negative 106 minus 15. Dapat lain pula. Jap Did I did any mistake? This one is plus 6. Okay, wait Oh, I made a mistake. Okay. Yeah, this is 9 plus 6. 9 plus 6 is 15. Negative 105 minus 15 is negative 120. Yeah, this is negative 120 here. Okay. And now your pindah negative. So negative jadi positive. And then N is 20 lah. Yeah, this is the answer. Okay, sudah betul. Alright. So that is the number of so what is the number of terms? 20 lah. Maksudnya dari sini ke sini ada 20 sebutan, 20 terms. And the negative 105 is the term yang ke-20. Yeah, the term yang ke-20. Okay, let's do B now. Find the sum of all the terms. Hasil tambah semua sebutan. Means dia nak cari hasil tambah T1 plus T2 plus T3 plus T4 until T20 lah. Tapi kita takkan buat slowly macam tu, cari satu-satu macam tu. Kita just guna formula Sn and cari S20. The formula for Sn in arithmetic progression is n over 2 big bracket 2a plus n minus 1d. So this is the formula that I'm going to apply. So 20 bahagi 2 over 2a. The a is 9, n minus 1, 19 lah. 20 minus 1, right? And then the d, negative 6 macam ni. And then nanti kena darab. Okay, 20 divided 2 is 10. 9 times 2 is 18. Negative 6 times 19 is negative. Use calculator. 114. And then 18 minus 114. Alright, negative 96 times 10 is negative 960. So the sum of all the terms, the S20 is negative 960. Okay, that's all for this. Okay, move on to number 4. Okay, what chapter is this? Okay, after scanning the question, I think it's the third one. So it's the Form 4, chapter 4. Indices, cert, and logarithm. And this is under cert. Okay. And usually under cert, they will always want you to rationalize one. That's what they always like to ask in the exam. Yeah, I did so many trial papers, they always ask the same thing. Okay, diagram 4 shows two parallelogram with a height of PCM. What is parallelogram? Okay, I always tell my student, parallelogram is actually a rectangle, but yang sudah sengit. Rectangle yang sudah sengit. So tell me, if it's a rectangle, opposite side mesti sama panjang kan? And also dia mesti parallel. Tapi dia sudah sengit, right? Walaupun dia sudah sengit, tapi still sama panjang and parallel. Okay, and the height is P. Okay, the P is the vertical height. Not the sengit punya height, the vertical one, the perpendicular height. Okay, so far so good. And then it is given that the GF is 3 plus square root 2 cm. Yang ni dia sudah label. Okay, but you need to know the AB will be same also lah. 3 plus square root 2. ED is square root 8, but you need to know BC is also square root 8. Yeah, dia punya opposite mesti sama. Okay, the total area of parallelogram is 9r plus 3r square root 2. So the total area for both this parallelogram is this one. So I'm sure later you have to use the area of parallelogram formula. And I'll tell you now what is the area of parallelogram formula. So let's say you have a parallelogram like this. The area will be base times height. And when I say base times height, the base is this height base right here. But the height, you don't take this one. No, not that one. The height you have to take from here to here. This is the height. Okay. Of course, you can also say here to here lah. It's the same thing, right? This one and this one is the same. Yang penting sini is you have to take the perpendicular height. Yeah, the perpendicular height. Okay. And in this case is P lah. Yeah, for both the parallelogram, the perpendicular height is P. For both the parallelogram. Okay, so later we'll be using that formula. Now they say express small p in the form of a plus b sub 2 in terms of r such that a and b are constants. So what I have to do now is find the area of this parallelogram plus this parallelogram equals to this, and then try to find p. Okay, but they want the answer to write in this form, and I feel like later I have to like I'm just predicting lah. I assume later mesti kena rationalize. Yeah. Because if later you have square root dekat bawah denominator, you kena rationalize, then only you can write your answer in this form. Okay, but we never know, right? We never know how the answer will look like later. So let's just do it now. So total area, let's find the area of this parallelogram. Okay, use this formula, base times height. The base is 3 plus square root 2, and the height or the perpendicular height is from here to here. The 90-degree height is p. So you have to take this one bracket, multiply with p like that. Plus with, okay, for this other parallelogram, the base is square root 8. Let's put it in the bracket, times with the height, which is the height from here until like here, the 90-degree height lah, which is p lah. And since this is the total area, so dia boleh sama dengan 9r plus 3r square root 2, like that. Okay, now it's time to find p. Ya, jangan lupa we are trying to find p, not r. We're trying to find p. P in terms of R mah, so cari P lah. Okay, sekarang kita akan darab dulu. So, satu term nak darab masuk dua term, dia jadi macam ni, 3P plus square root 2 times P is P square root 2. Bukan square root 2P, you jangan buat square root 2P, salah. Kalau square root 2 darab square root P, baru square root 2P. Tapi ini square root 2 darab P. So, P ni tak ada square root, so dia tak boleh masuk dalam square root. Dia kena tulis sebelah macam tu. Okay, tambah. Square root 8 times P is not square root 8P. It's P square root 8. Because the P tak ada square root. Okay, sama dengan 9R. Okay, 9R plus 3R boleh buat tak? Boleh tak buat jadi 9 plus 3 jadi 12R? Tak boleh. Sebab ini 3R darab square root 2. Yang ini 9R tak ada darab square root 2. Kalau dia 9R darab square root 2 plus 3R darab square root 2, then boleh jadi 12R square root 2. Kalau ada square root 2 sini. Tapi ini tak ada, so tak boleh buat. So tulis je macam ni. Okay, now how do you continue from here? Okay, I see some things. I said, this one and this one actually boleh buat tau. Actually boleh buat. Let me tell you how. This one is square root 2, this one is square root 8, right? And do you know square root 8 boleh simplify? Ya, boleh simplify. So, the rest all I tulis macam ni. The P square root 8 boleh simplify. Because square root 8 is actually square root 4 times 2. Ya, because 8 dia boleh bahagi dengan perfect square. Which is, boleh bahagi dengan 4 kan? 4 is the perfect square. And kenapa saya bahagi dengan perfect square? Sebab apabila you bahagi dengan 4, which is a perfect square, square root 4 boleh buat dapat 2. And then 2 tak boleh square root, yang tu tak apa, iaitu just tulis sebelah macam tu saja. So just left with P times 2, and you can write this as 2P. You can write this as 2P. And then sini jangan lupa ada lagi 3P, ada lagi P square root 2, tambah sini sama dengan 9R plus 3R square root 2. Okay, sekarang you faham kenapa saya cakap ni dengan ni boleh buat? Because this, call it similar certs. Similar certs. Sir, what is similar cert? Similar cert is when you have the same value for the square root. Like this one, you see, square root 2, you see, they are same value inside. So if they are same value inside, we call them similar cert. And kalau similar cert, kalau nak tambah memang boleh buat. Just ambil P tambah 2P, dia akan jadi 3P square root 2. You anggap dia macam X lah. Okay, contoh ini macam ni kan? Macam ni. You can see it's similar certs. They both have the same square root 2. So you boleh anggap dia macam X. Dia akan jadi PX plus 2PX. That's why dia boleh terus jadi 3PX macam tu. Okay. Okay, another way to explain this is you can factorize. Sebab dua-dua boleh bahagi dengan square root 2. Tengok, dua-dua boleh ada square root 2, so boleh bahagi macam tu kan. You boleh faktor. So bila faktor, dia tinggal dengan P plus 2P. And P plus 2P is 3P lah. So jadi 3P square root 2. Sama lah dengan ni. Sama lah. It's the same. Okay. So yeah. So that's how you do it. Alright. Don't forget there's a 3P here. And then this one is 3R plus 3R square root 2. Okay, don't forget we are trying to find P. We're trying to find P. And yang 3P dengan 3P ni tambah tak boleh buat. Tak boleh buat sebab ini dia bukan similar cert. Yang ini ada square root 2 tapi ini tak ada square root 2. So macam mana Saya nak cari P kan. So P kena single. Tapi sekarang P ada 2 kali. So maybe I can factorize. Right? But when you factorize, you realize that these two terms dia boleh bahagi dengan P. Tapi at the same time dia boleh bagi 3 juga. So why not you factorize completely bagi 3 macam ni, and then nanti 3 tu pindah, and yang dalam bracket pun pindah. Yeah, I think that's the plan now. Okay, and I'll tell you again why I factorize is because I want the P to be single. Because when you take it out like that the P akan jadi single. Kalau tak percaya tengok 3P bagi 3P tinggal 1, 3P square root 2 bagi 3P tinggal square root 2. You can see the P jadi single dah. So now it's easy to find P. Pindah ni ke sana, lepas tu pindah 3. Tapi I pindah 3 dulu lah. Ya, I pindah 3 dulu. Ya, I pindah 3 dulu. So darab 3 dari bahagi 3. So dua-dua term ni kena bahagi 3. So 9R divide 3 is 3R. Ini bagi 3 jadi R square root 2. And finally, dia akan jadi 3R plus R square root 2 over 1 plus square root 2. Itulah P punya jawapan. But don't be too happy yet because they want P in this form. Remember just now I said there's a chance where I'll ask you to rationalize. Like I predicted that they will ask you to rationalize. Yeah, because I am used to the question. They will not make it so easy one. Yeah. So they want it to write in this form. You can see this form, dia tak ada fraction. There's no denominator. So what do you think I need to do now? I need to rationalize the denominator. What's the meaning of rationalize denominator? Means you hilangkan square root dekat bawah. You hilangkan square root dekat bawah. And the way to do that is you kena darab dengan dia punya conjugate cert. Kalau you punya bawah ada 2 term, ada square root, dia punya conjugate cert akan jadi 1 minus square root 2 sini. Yep. If there's two terms, and you're trying to rationalize, you will darab with the same two terms, but with the opposite sign. Plus jadi minus macam tu. But let's put a bracket here also, supaya dia nampak kemas. Sekarang kita boleh start to darab atas, bawah darab bawah, and then susun dalam bentuk ni lah. Okay, saya nak buat bawah darab bawah dulu. 1 times 1 is 1. 1 times negative square root 2 is negative square root 2, tapi you will plus with square root 2 here, so dia jadi kosong. So yang middle boleh skip sebab sudah cancel. Left with the last one plus square root 2 times negative square root 2, which is minus 2. Yeah, positive times negative, negative. Square root 2 times square root 2 is just 2. Yeah. Sekarang atas darab atas, 3R times 1 is 3R. 3R times negative square root 2, negative 3R square root 2. And then R square root 2 times 1 is just R square root 2. And then R square root 2 times negative square root 2, the R jadi minus, because positive times negative, negative. And then the R just tulis saja. Square root 2 times square root 2 is just 2. So just 2 like that lah. Okay, why not we just write 2R, right? Ya, 2R. Okay, sampai sini kita boleh sambung. P sama dengan over, okay, 1 minus 2 is negative 1. But later your answer, they already said have to write in this form. Cannot have fraction, cannot have bawah, right? So later we have to take all the terms atas, kena bahagi dengan negative 1. And it's easy to do that. Because when you bahagi negative 1, basically you just tukar tanda saja. Yeah. So now my job is to buat atas, and then just tukar tanda for everyone lah. Because have to bahagi negative 1. So kita tengok atas sini, R dengan R boleh buat, and then square root 2 dengan square root 2 boleh buat. So 3R minus 2R jadi 1R. So R lah. Okay, but the R I will write at the back. Later you will know why. Is it good to write at the back? No. It's better to write here actually. Yeah, because the form is like that, right? Yeah. Okay, sekarang square root 2 dengan square root 2 boleh buat. Tadi sudah explain, dia adalah similar cert. Similar cert means you have the same value inside the square root. So bila dia similar cert, kita boleh anggap ni sebagai macam X lah. So dia akan jadi negative 3Rx plus Rx. So kita boleh buat negative 3R plus 1R, which is negative 2R, but with the square root 2 of course. Okay. And now, you have to bahagi negative 1. Sebab apa tahu? Sebab you tak boleh stop sini. Sebab dia punya jawapan dalam form macam ni. Yang dia tak ada over negative 1 pun. So, what you have to do? R kena bahagi negative 1. Yang ini pun kena bahagi negative 1. So, when you bahagi negative 1, just tukar tanda. So, R jadi negative R. Yang ni jadi plus lah. 2R square root 2. And as you can see, this is already in this form. A plus B square root 2. A plus B square root 2. You see, your A is negative R and your B is the 2R. Okay, and the soalan ada cakap boleh in terms of R kan? So yeah, dalam sebutan R lah. Inilah jawapan dia. Okay, I'm done with the whole thing. That's all. Okay, B pula. Okay, this is still the same question. So same chapter lah, Form 4 chapter 4. But this is not a third question. This is a log question. Given that log 3 base P minus log x base P equals to 1 over 3 log 2 minus y base P, express x in terms of y. When we are doing log question ataupun indices question, number one thing we have to check is the base. We have to make sure it's same base. Kalau dia punya base tak sama, you cannot do anything. You have to stop and try to change base. Kalau dia punya base tak sama lah. But this question, the base is already the same. Base P, log base P, log base P. So the base sudah cantik. Sekarang kita boleh try to try to cari lah. So I can see the left side dia ada separate log minus. And this sudah same base. And separate log minus, dia boleh gabung. Dia boleh gabung jadi single log. Okay. And the right side is already single log. Okay. It's already single log. Okay. So what I will do now is I will combine this and then later it become log equals to log. And since the both side dia punya base sudah sama, we can compare later. Ya, kita boleh buat macam ni. Kita boleh buat macam ni. Ya, when you have single log, log equals to log and the base same and there's no number here, dia mesti no number here one. Then we can straight away take this one equals to this. Yeah, it's like you compare lah. Yeah, one thing. So let's do that now. Log base P, separate log minus single log divide. So 3 divide x like that. And I told you just now depan sini tak boleh ada number. So the 1/3 should naik atas jadi kuasa. So dia akan jadi 2 minus y power 1/3. Okay. And as you can see, log equals to log and they are both same base. So we don't have to write the log already. Hilang already. Just take the number inside, 3/x equals to 2 minus y power 1/3. And power 1/3 is actually cube root. Yeah, so I will just write cube root so that it looks easy. So that it looks better lah. Okay, now they want x in terms of y. So x kena single, very easy. Just hantar atas, then the x single already. Then this whole thing will go down jadi bahagi. So 3 over cube root 2 minus y. And that's your answer. X in terms of y, right? So 3 over cube root 2 minus y. Okay. Yeah, this is how I would do it. All right, that's all. Okay, soalan C. This is also the same chapter. So same question. So it's still the same chapter lah. But what is this? Oh my God. Given that x power this minus to this equals to this plus this, find the value of m. Oh, hell no. You all can do this question yesterday. I feel like this is like one of the question you guys maybe struggle yesterday. Yeah, because yesterday you just did this question, right? In your day 1 SPM. Okay. First of all, we know it's from 4 chapter 4. And I think it's the indices question, right? But this looks very complicated, right? Okay, I'll just tell you something straight away. So straight away, what I notice is there's 3 unknowns. You have x, you have y, you have m, you have n. Oh, not 3 unknowns, 4 unknowns. In one equation, there's 4 unknowns. So this is bad because they want to find m, right? And do you know when there's 4 unknowns in one equation, you can't find the value of m unless you use a special method called the comparing method. So I think this question, high chance, not 100%, but high chance you have to do the compare cara. Okay, compare cara, high chance lah, high chance. Because when there's too many unknowns in one equation, you will always go for this method. Compare means like left side, right side, and then you look for the similar things, and then maybe take the coefficient, compare like that. Okay. But there's also a chance where you can cancel out the unknowns. Yeah, ada juga cara, because later maybe I do halfway, I realize maybe I can cancel out. Maybe the m and m can cut, maybe can cancel out. And if I can do that, that's good lah. Because if I can cancel, and then if then 4 unknown maybe become 3 unknown, 3 unknown maybe become 2 unknown. But that's only if you are lucky. That's only like if the question decide to ask the soalan yang senang, then it's good lah. So let's start by seeing what's this. X power m power n. Okay, when the power side by side like that means the power have to times. So I think I will just times like that lah. Okay, the x plus y power m, I feel like some of you, you might make this mistake. You might go and do something like this. You go and write something like this, x power m plus y power m. Okay, but it's wrong. Yeah, this one memang tak boleh. If bracket x plus y power m cannot write like that, mana boleh. Tapi kalau darab boleh. Kalau darab boleh. If this one is darab, boleh write x power m, y power m boleh. Tapi kalau tambah tolak tak boleh. Okay, so this is the wrong way to do it. That means the x plus y power m, you can't do anything with that. Minus x power mn plus 1, I don't think anything you can do here. I think I'll just write it back like that. X plus y power m plus 1, okay, write that here. This one also nothing you can do. Equals, oh, this one power side by side ma. So I think I can times. So it becomes x power mn. But there's a y square, so y square x power mn like that. Plus, okay, this one nothing you can do, so it's like that. Okay, so far this is what I have here, but don't forget they want to find m. And your m is here, 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 here. And if it's not complicated enough, there's like x, y, and yeah, there's like 4 unknowns in one equation. Okay, let's see. Okay, I think this one you can combine jadi single fraction. Yeah, because usually when there's fraction, it's always like that one. Like you always like try to hilangkan fraction lah, or maybe samakan dia punya bawah macam tu. Yeah, you can't go wrong with that one. It's always like that. So I can see the denominator x plus y power m. This one is x plus y power m plus 1. So the denominator is not same, but you can make them the same. You just have to darab with x plus y. Here also darab with x plus y. Okay, let me explain a bit why I darab x plus y. Because x plus y power m plus 1 is actually x plus y power m multiplied with x plus y power 1. Same base, times the power you plus. So when you times, it becomes x plus y power m plus 1 like that. That's why, now you understand, right? That's why I times with x plus y here to make the denominator same for both this fraction. So later you can combine the fraction jadi macam ni lah. Yeah. But this atas kena darab lah. Okay, satu term darab dua term, the cara is like that. X power mn times x, which is x power mn plus 1. You know why, right? Because this one no power is power 1 mah. So same base times the power you plus lah. And then tambah dengan, okay, this one is y times with x power mn. Okay, this one base tak sama, power pun tak sama. So I don't think you can, yeah, you can do anything with that. Just write beside like that. And then don't forget to minus x power mn plus 1. Oh, I saw some things. Can cut. Okay, which is good, right? Which is good, and you should cut it. But still, you still have 4 unknowns. Yeah, you still have 4 unknowns. So, yeah, I think you still have to do a lot to find m. So it's okay. At least we are making some progress now. So I want to find m. Okay, let's look at the right side. Then let's look at the left side. Okay, we have a problem. Okay. Oh, I see some things. The y, I think I can get rid of the y. Yeah, I think I can factorize out the y. I'll tell you why. I'll tell you why I factorize out the y. It's because when you both these two terms, they can divide by y. And you know why I do that? It's because when I take out the y, you left with y x power mn, right? And this one, when you take out the y, you are left with x power mn plus 1. And did you realize that you can potong the y? Yeah. So what I will do now is I will pindah this one atas jadi darab. Yang ni atas jadi darab, but I'm not gonna expand this to this. No chance. I will not do that. I will just pindah this, but I will not darab inside. And then this one pindah atas, and then this whole thing I will put it power like that. So it becomes y x power mn over this whole thing right here. Y bracket y x power mn plus x power mn plus 1. And the reason is just because I want to potong the y. Yeah, I just want to potong the y. And equals, of course, this thing goes up already, so it becomes x plus y power m plus 1 like that. Okay, but how to continue from here? Let's see. X power mn, x power mn. Wait, can I factorize? Okay, this one I give up already. This one memang cannot do anything already. But I feel like here I can do something with this. I feel like I can factorize out the x power mn. Betul lah. You see, x power mn, yeah, both these terms can divide by x power mn, right? And it's good to divide because you can potong dengan atas. So what I'm gonna do is I will write the x power mn, and here I'm gonna factorize out the x power mn. So you will left with y, and here you will left with x actually. And for those wondering, kenapa left with x is because I told you just now, x power mn plus 1 is actually what? Oh, it's not here. Okay, I'll write again for you. So this one, x power mn plus 1 is actually x power mn multiply with x power 1. So that is why when you factorize out the x power mn, you left with x. Yeah, you factorize out this already, you left with x. Yeah. Okay, so far you understand, huh? Okay, equals to x plus y bracket n plus 1. And now you can cut already. Whoa, this is good. Okay, now it's like we have something to work with. Yeah, now it's like it looks a bit simple already. So now you still have a lot of unknowns. Yeah, you still have x and y and m, but you can use the compare method because this side is x plus y power n plus 1 and this side is x plus y but it's dekat bawah. Dia duduk dekat bawah fraction. So can I naik atas? Boleh, boleh naik atas. Tapi bila naik atas power kena tukar tanda. So no power here is 1, if naik atas jadi negative 1. And kenapa saya buat macam tu? Because I want to compare. You remember just now in the beginning, I said for this question, high chance you will use the compare method. You know why, right? Because when there's more than one unknown in one equation, high chance you mesti do compare one. Because bila dia ada 4 unknown, macam mana you pindah pun tak ada cara. Yeah, because there's too many unknowns. That's why I know I have to compare later. And yeah, now you compare lah. You see both sides, the x plus y same base already. So the power you can take it out, negative 1 equals n plus 1. And wow, I can find the m now. Negative 1 minus 1 is negative 2. So they want to find m, and this is the m answer, negative 2. Okay, okay. I feel like a lot of you might did this wrongly yesterday. Yeah, yeah. It's quite hard to see the method, right? Yeah, but anyways, this is the correct way to do it lah. Okay, okay. I'm not sure why there's a barcode here. In all the trial paper, there's no barcode one. Okay lah, whatever lah. But yeah, you all can tell me in comment section what you did, or uh, like what careless mistake, or maybe you get it correct. Yeah, maybe some of you get it correct. Maybe some of you have some extra time and you figure out yourself. Yeah, you can tell me also. Yeah, we can interact in the comment section. Okay. With that being said, I'll continue. Number 5. Quadratic Form 4 chapter 2 lah. Okay. The quadratic function f is defined by this. Okay, when you see bracket single x square like that, it means it's vertex form. Confirm. Confirm. Bila dia ada bracket x square like that, mesti vertex form. So when it's vertex form, you can straight away baca you punya turning point tau. So the x coordinate will be P, this one is Q. Yeah, bila baca ni, this one, bila baca x coordinate, this one you have to tukar tanda. And then Q lah. Okay, but we don't know minimum or maximum because we don't know the A, whether the K is positive or negative, but it's okay, such that K, P, Q are constant. Okay, soalan A, if K equals to 2, it means K is 2, that means it's minimum lah. So it's the minimum point. Sebab kalau K 2, maksudnya dia punya A positif. Kalau A positif, dia punya curve punya shape macam ni. So dia akan jadi minimum point. State the equation of axis of symmetry of the graph. Okay, the equation of axis of symmetry will be this line that cuts the middle here. And we already know the coordinate is PQ. So the axis of symmetry is X equals P lah. Tapi ada tak cara untuk cari P? Tak ada cara kan? They never give me any extra information to help me find P. They only give me the K value. But the K value cannot help us find P. So I think the answer is just like that lah. But it's a bit weird because the soalan tak cakap boleh in terms of P kan. Yeah, they just cakap equation of axis of symmetry. But sebenarnya tak ada cara lah. Tak ada cara untuk cari P sebenarnya. Kalau dia punya information macam ni, memang tak ada cara untuk dapatkan nilai P. There's no other way. Unless they give us some more information lah. But for this question, I think that's how you do it. Yeah, it's only worth 1 mark. So that's the answer. Cannot just write P only. You have to write X equals P. If you write P only, if I'm the one marking your paper, I'll give you wrong also. Yeah, because equation axis of symmetry, they must be X equals P. Yeah, it's a vertical line. Okay, now let's do B. If K is increased from 2 to 3, how would the position of the minimum point of the graph change? In other words, they change the A value. Because when you write vertex form, it's like that, right? X minus P square plus Q. Yeah, and the A, they use K, they write K for this question. So they say this K originally is 2, but what happens if I change to 3? How would the position of minimum point of the graph change? Okay, I'll tell you straight away, the minimum point will not change. Okay, so I'll just write here, the minimum point, or you can say the position of minimum point remain unchanged. Remains unchanged. You can also write will not change. Okay. Okay, did they ask for the reason? No, right? They just say how would the position graph change? So just say remain unchanged, and like that you get the 1 mark already. But I want to explain further. I want to explain more detail. You guys know me. I always explain. Even though I know if you do like that, you get full mark already. But I wanna tell you, I wanna explain, and I'm sure you know what I will explain, right? So let's talk about what happens if your A value change. All right. So if your A is positive, right? If your A is positive, what happens is when your A decreases, the width increase. But if your A is negative, your A increase, your width increase. Okay, if you are the one of the best 08 student that faced your SPM yesterday, you should know this, right? Okay lah, not now lah, because it's over already. So yeah, but this is what you need to know lah. So let me explain. Let's say I have two curves, right? So when I change the value of A, what happens is basically the width is changing. The width is changing. Okay. So when your A is positive, this is how it looks like. When your A is negative, your graph will look like this. But what if your A is zero? Imagine your A is zero. Okay, like your general form is this is your general form, right? Ax squared plus bx plus c. Imagine one day your A is zero. What's gonna happen? 0 times x squared will be 0, so the x squared disappeared. You just left with this. And you all know when the highest power is 1, you don't get a curve, right? You get a straight line. So tell me what happens when A is 0? You get a straight line. In other words, the nearer your A to, okay, the nearer your A value to 0, the more your graph will look like a straight line. I repeat, you punya A lagi dekat dengan kosong, lagi you punya curve nampak macam satu straight line. That means it's wider lah. So for example, let's say this one, the A is 5. The A is 5 for this curve. What happens if the A becomes 4? It will be wider or it will be more narrow? Of course wider. Of course wider. You know why? Because 4 is nearer to 0. That is why I said for A positive, the A smaller, the width increase. Yeah, you see the 5 become 4, the A's I decrease, the width increase. And why is it like that? Because you are approaching 0, you are getting near to 0. So your graph will look more like a straight line. That's why the width is lagi lebar. It's like lagi wider. What if you go A equals 3? Lagi wider lah. And if you go 2, lagi. And when you go 0, that's when you reach a straight line. But why is it the opposite for this? Why is it opposite for A negative? Yeah, same concept, ma. Let's say this one is A is negative 5. Now imagine I change this to negative 6. It should be more narrow, right? Yeah, because negative 6 is smaller than negative 5. And also, negative 6 is further away from 0 compared to negative 5. That's why it's much more narrow. Okay, so I hope you understand this. Okay, of course you can just memorize this lah, but I want to teach you all how to remember it. Yeah, how to memorize it. So you just remember it like this: the nearer you get to 0, the wider your graph. So in order to approach 0, what happens? You have to increase your A value. So it become negative 4, negative 3, negative 2, negative 1. That's how you get nearer to 0. But for the A positive, you have to go smaller. You have to go smaller to get nearer to 0. But for A negative, you have to go bigger to get 0. That is why for A positive, A smaller, width increase. But for A negative, A bigger, baru width increase. Okay, this is how I would explain it. So now tell me, for this question, the K increased from 2 to 3, and it's a minimum curve. It's like a A positive curve. So tell me what happens when you increase the A, when the A is positive. It means your A is naik. So your punya width kena turun. That means what will happen to the new graph is it will become more narrow. It will become more narrow. Because you are further away from 0 now. Yeah, from 2 to 3 So 3 is like further away from 0. So it's gonna be more curvy. Instead of being more wider, it's more narrow now. Okay, it's more curved. Yeah, it's more curved. So but this question asks for the position of minimum point, so it's remain unchanged lah. Yeah, it actually remain unchanged. Because the minimum point will only change if you change the P value and the Q value. Because we all know for vertex form, when we budget minimum point, we only look at these two. We don't really care about this number. This number is just telling you the shape, and yeah, it will only tell you the shape. Okay, so if I change this to 3, if the PQ value stay the same, that means the minimum point stay the same also. That is why the answer you just write like that is good enough. Okay, but I hope you guys know this also, especially if you are facing SPM. Yeah, you have to know this. Okay, alright. Of course, this one tak payah tulis dalam you punya jalan kira dekat exam lah. This is just my extra notes for you. So that's all. Okay, now we are at question number 6. This looks like a vector. So form 4 chapter 8 punya soalan. Okay, let's read. Diagram 6 shows X and Y drawn on a square grid with sides of 1 unit. So these are all squares, side 1 unit. Okay, so you can actually convert this to IJ. Yeah, because if they draw in a square grid, that means you have a horizontal, vertical. So you can actually convert it, right? So this one is 1I plus 1J. This one is 2I minus 1J. Okay, but let's see what they want. On diagram 6, draw and label 2x minus y. So we can just do 2x minus y lah, very easy. So I can see x is like that, like 1i 1j, right? So just do 1x 2x. Okay, but I will use dotted line for this. I will use dotted line for this. So what I will do here is I will do like that, like that, like that, like that, like that. Okay, another line I will draw is okay, so this is 2x, 2x. Okay, another line I will draw is y. But I want minus y, right? Okay, so I have to continue from here, because 2x I continue from here, but I have to do y, right? But can I do like that? No, I cannot do like that, because if I do like that, it becomes y. It becomes y. So then I bought minus y, so I have to do it in the opposite direction. So to perform the y, you have to go like that. And of course, dia mesti kiri 2 kotak naik 1 lah. Because this one is 2i minus 1j. So negative I will be negative 2i plus 1j, like that. Okay, and of course this has to go, and use dotted line also, like that, and erase off this line. Alright, this one is minus y. So what is the vector? Draw and label 2x minus y. So 2x minus y is from here to here lah, right? But wait, why does it look a bit is this correct? mm, I think boleh lah, like that, right? So 2x minus y, betul lah? Macam salah aja. Wait, I feel like I did something wrong, but I cannot pinpoint what I did wrong. I feel like I did a mistake, but I don't know what mistake I did. I just have like a gut feeling is telling me I wrong already. Wait. Okay, 2x ma. So you go like that lah. And then minus y. Okay, if I go like that, it's 2x plus y already, right? So 2x, yeah, I think correct already lah. Correct already. Yeah, I think correct already. Yeah. But if I do like that, it's 2x plus y. Yeah, correct lah. Yeah, I think I'm just overthinking. Okay, so this is worth 2 marks. Yeah. So now you understand why I use dotted line. It's because this is the real one, the correct one. Okay, now B. Hence state the... Okay, this one is magnitude. Okay, they want to find magnitude of 2x minus y. Okay, the magnitude formula, you kena ambil square root, bracket square plus bracket square. And dalam you kena letak number before ij. Not xy, you don't even go and put 2 negative 1 like that. That's wrong. That's wrong already. You have to letak number before ij. Okay, and this is not ij. Okay, so I think I have to find out the vector 2x minus y in terms of ij dulu. Yes, I have to find out in terms of I and in terms of j dulu. So how do you find that? Very easy ma. You have the 2x minus y here, and you already draw it in the square grid. And I told you, square grid memang boleh tukar jadi ij. Just find out how many horizontal movement and vertical movement. So for this, you can see dia punya I is 0, because there's no horizontal movement. So 0i. Tambah berapa j? 1, 2, 3. 3 units. Ke atas, so plus 3j lah. 0i plus 3j. So now it becomes 0i, which is just 0 lah. Okay lah, I'll write the 0 anyway, and then plus 3j. Okay, but I'm trying to find the magnitude. So magnitude of 2x minus y is the same as finding magnitude of 0i plus 3j. So square root, bracket square plus bracket square, dalam letak number before ij, so 0 and 3. So 0 square is 0, 3 square is 9, so left is square root 9, which is 3 units. Yeah, so that's the magnitude, 3 units. Okay, okay, but it's only worth 1 mark, right? So, but I still recommend writing the whole working lah. Okay, okay. Let me tell you why is it 1 mark. Is because if you realize this vector here, dia bukan line yang sengit. So bila dia bukan line yang sengit it's very easy to find out the jarak ataupun the panjang, the magnitude. You just count only 1, 2, 3 like that. You don't even have to use the Pythagoras theorem. Okay. Yeah, we use this formula. Pythagoras theorem is only when it's like for example like that. Then we do like, okay, ini square tambah ini square, like that, right? But for this case, it's like, yeah, you can see it's just vertical 3 kotak. That's why you end up getting 3 lah for your final answer. Okay. Yeah, that's why it's only worth 1 mark, because you can just count it and write 3 straight away. But still, I show you the full working anyway lah. Okay. Okay, that's all. Okay, number 7 pula. This one confirm trigonometry from 5 chapter 6 trigonometric functions. Okay, state the complementary angle in radian of alpha in terms of pi and alpha. Alright, if you don't know what's the meaning of complementary angle, then definitely you leave it blank. Because if you don't know what's the meaning of complementary angle, mesti you tak boleh buat, right? So I want you all to tell me in the comment section whether you did this correctly or not, whether you know what's complementary or not. Okay, but I pernah ajar in my videos, right? But in maths lah. Yeah, this one is in maths. Yeah, you have to know something. For Addmaths they like to mix the Form 4 and Form 5 punya maths dalam Addmaths one. Yeah, it's like that's how it always been lah. So I'll explain to you what is complementary angles. Okay, this one memang I pernah ajar lah. But in my maths video. So maths student also need to know this. Okay, complementary, and you have supplementary. You have supplementary. And you have one more. Anyone knows? Conjugate angle. Alright, what is complementary angles? Complementary angles is when two angles add up to 90 degrees. Okay. For example, I have 30 degree. What is the complementary angle for 30? 60 lah. Because 30 plus 60 is 90. Okay. So sudut pelengkap complementary angle means when two angles add up to 90. Like for example, 30 and 60 lah. 30 and 60 is complementary. Okay. 30 and 60 is the complementary angle of each other. Then what about supplementary? Supplementary is when the two angles add up to 180. Dia punya sum 180. And you guessed it, for the conjugate is 360. Okay. Yeah, ini kena tahu lah. Actually, you learn this in like Form 1, Form 2, Form 3. Yeah, maths. You learn this in maths like Form 1, Form 2, Form 3. You learn it. But most people forget about this one lah. So I don't know you did it correctly or not. The best 08 yesterday, what you did? I don't know. Okay, but they want the complementary angle of alpha. So to find the complementary alpha, I told you right, complementary angle means the angles add up to 90. So the complementary for this will be 90 degree minus alpha lah. But they want in radian and also in terms of pi and alpha. So the 90 is in degrees. So what do you think you will do? You will change to radian lah, pi over 2. Yeah, because 90 degree, when you change to radian, you have to direct pi over 180, right? So bam, is pi over 2. Okay. And the pi, you don't tekan, because they say in terms of pi. So you should write it like this. And then bracket, and then write the unit radian. Okay. Yeah. So it's only worth 1 mark. So this is the answer. Okay. Yeah. I don't know whether you guys did it correctly yesterday or not, but this is the correct answer. Okay, B, on diagram 7, sketch a line to represent negative 225 degrees. Okay, first of all, you need to know the angle kosong mesti dari sini one. Semua angle kira dari sini. Okay, and then you will go anti-clockwise. 90 like that, 180 like that, 270 like that, 360 like that. Okay, you go anti-clockwise. Kalau positif lah. Kalau you punya sudut positif. This is quadrant 1, quadrant 2, quadrant 3, quadrant 4. But this one is a negative angle, right? Tapi you punya kosong still sini, cuma you punya negative 90 dekat sini. It means instead of going anti-clockwise, now you pergi clockwise. Yang ini anti-clockwise. Ini start dari sini juga tapi pergi clockwise. And then this is negative 180. and this is negative 70, and then negative 360 back here. So where is negative 225? In the quadrant 2 lah. In the quadrant 2 lah. Here lah. Because negative 225 is somewhere between negative 180 and negative 270. But you don't have to, I don't think you have to measure using the protector exactly 225. I don't think you need to do that, because this one is just sketch. So I think you just lebih kurang agak-agak macam tu, and then now you start to label. Yeah, okay, you don't label like that, Nah, fam, no, no, no. No, no. You label like that, wrong already. I told you already, negative have to go clockwise. So you have to start from here, go clockwise like that. Ini baru betul. Okay, negative 2 to 5 degrees. Okay. Okay, what if you do like that? Like that, like that. This one wrong also, right? This one is like more than 360 already. So wrong also. You will only do like that when the angle is more than one circle, more than 360. Okay. So this is the correct way to do it. Okay. Alright. Of course, this one you don't. This one is just like my explanation lah. Okay, I'll leave it there lah. I'll leave it there. But this one you don't write it one. You won't write it in the exam. You only show this. Okay, you only show this. Okay, that's all. Okay, 8a. This one is integration from 5 chapter 3. Boom. Okay, it is given that fx equals to 3 over 1 minus 2x power 8. Okay, and then the f prime x is a over 1 minus 2x power b. Oh, my mistake is not chapter 3, it's chapter 2. Okay, yeah, because f prime x means you have to differentiate. So this one is chapter 2, not the integrate. Yeah, chapter 2, pembezaan, right? So f prime x equals to this such that a and b are constants. Find the value of a and b. Very easy. Just find your own f prime x, and then after you find your own f prime x, compare your answer with this answer, then you get your AB. Okay, so when you find f prime x means you have to differentiate. And how do you differentiate? Well, first of all, ada syarat. Kalau nak differentiate, ada syarat. First syarat, tak boleh ada x bawah. Second syarat, kalau boleh kembang, kena kembang dulu. So 3 over 1 minus 2x power 8. This one I will not kembang. Takkan I nak kembang power 8. Tapi dia ada x bawah, so boleh naik atas. And actually dia boleh naik tau. Ya, dia boleh naik. Dia jadi 3, 1 minus 2x power negative 8. Okay. Tapi ada case yang tak boleh naik. Ada case yang tak boleh naik. Case macam mana yang tak boleh naik benda ni? Apabila atas ada x. Because when atas punya number ada x ini contohlah macam ni then you have to use the UV formula. And for this case, you have to use the quotient rule. The UV formula. Salin V differentiate U, tolak salin U differentiate V over V square. That one. Okay. But this one no need to use UV. Okay. So if yesterday, if you all the best 08 student, if you all did the UV, then wrong. Yeah. No need. No need. So this one, you just do it like that, and you just factorize now. Okay, you notice how I never write the f prime x here? Yeah, because I haven't differentiated yet. Now only I write, because now only I differentiate. And the method to differentiate this is like this. Just take the negative 8, multiply with 3. Yeah. And you get negative 24. And then here will be 1 minus 2x. Power have to minus 1, jadi negative 9. And don't forget to differentiate dalam sekali. So differentiate 1 is 0. Differentiate negative 2x is negative 2. This is how you differentiate. But of course, you have to write in this form, because later you have to compare with this, right? So what I will do is I will turunkan 1 minus 2x tu ke bawah. Kenapa tahu? Sebab dia pun tulis dekat bawah, so saya pun tulis dekat bawah. So bila you turun bawah, power tu kena tukar tanda. So kuasa tukar tanda jadi 9 sini. And then atas left with this number and this number. Negative times negative, positive. 24 times 2, 48. Now, what is the value of A and B? You banding je. A is nombor atas, so nombor atas A 48. And then what is B? Okay, B is the power for 1 minus 2x. So 1 minus 2x power 9. 1 minus 2x power B. So B equals to 9. So A is 48, B is 9. Yep, that's all. 2 marks. Soalan B. The area of sector of a circle is given by y equals to x squared minus 4x plus 10p. Oh my god. This is a bit weird. Okay, okay, I see the word differentiation, so definitely it's still differentiation. But area of sector is given by this. Okay, never mind. Let's read the question. Such that x is the radius and p is a constant. Okay. Using differentiation, find the maximum area in cm squared of the sector in terms of p. Okay, definitely the keyword here is this maximum. So when you see the word maximum, means you do dy dx equals 0. Okay, yeah. When you find maximum or minimum, just differentiate equals 0. but they say area maximum, right? So you have to differentiate the area equation equals 0. And did they give you the area equation? Yes, this one is the area equation. Y equals x squared minus 4x plus 10p. So the y is actually the area. Yeah, they said it here, right? It's the area of sector of circle. And the x is actually the radius. And then p is just a constant. So if you want to find maximum area, you can just differentiate the area equation equals 0 lah, which is y, right? So the dy dx equals to 0. So differentiate x squared is 2x. Differentiate negative 4x just negative 4. Differentiate 10p is 0. Okay, even though you don't know the p, you still can differentiate because p is a constant. That means p is a value. It could be 1, it could be 5, it could be 7, but it's not important because when you differentiate number, you get 0. That is why the 10p hilang when you differentiate. And then the whole thing equals 0 because maximum. Because maximum. And now you can find the value of x. Negative 4 hantar jadi 4, 4 divided 2 is 2. But 2 is the radius, don't forget. They're asking for maximum area. So you have to ganti the x maximum dalam original equation to get the maximum area. So y means nak cari y lah sebenarnya. Y is the area, right? So x square minus 4x plus 10p. The x ganti 2, 2. The p you jangan ganti 2. Salah, salah. P tak payah ganti. And it's okay because they say boleh in terms of p. So tak ada masalah. So just buat yang ni lah. 2 square minus 8. Negative 4 plus 10p. So find the maximum area. This is the answer lah. Let's write the unit lah to be safe. Oh, they never say unit lah. Okay lah, just write unit square lah. Because we don't know it's cm or meter, right? So I just, cm square. Okay, sorry. So just put bracket cm square. So that is the maximum area in terms of p. This is how I would do it. Okay. Okay, that's all. Okay, still the same question number 8. So I assume it's still differentiation, still from 5 chapter 2. Okay. Okay, let's see what is this. A cone has a volume of 16 pi cm cube. Okay, kalau saya akan terus lukis satu cone. The volume is 16 pi. So definitely we'll be using the volume of cone formula. And for those who forget, this is the formula 1/3 pi r square h. Ataupun dalam bahasa Melayu 1/3 pi j kuasa 2t. Okay. Okay, height of 3 cm. Okay. Okay, they never say slanted height. That means this height is the perpendicular height. Okay, the vertical height. Okay, the 90-degree one lah. Okay, if the height of cone is fixed, okay, the height is never changed, fixed. Using differentiation, find the small change. Okay, this one definitely is small change lah. Last question, they asked the maximum punya application. And then this one, they asked for small change. What about the next one? Next one is integrate. Okay, so yeah, you learn about the application of differentiation, right? You have the tangent normal. You have the minimum, maximum, or turning point, ataupun stationary point, and then you have the rate of change, and then you have the small change, and then you have the limit. This one sometimes only they ask lah. This one sometimes they will ask the limit. Okay. Okay, what is this? This is like the type of question yang boleh dia tanya dalam exam lah. It's like jenis soalan yang dia boleh tanya. I always category it like this. I put it inside category like that. So the last question belongs to this category lah, where you have to do dy dx equals 0. And now you have to do this one lah. Okay. But sometimes they will ask the rate of change or limit, dan dia normal macam tu lah. Okay, this one is small change. Okay, small change. Find a small change in volume means nak cari delta V. Yeah, we use the delta symbol for small change. Equals to question mark. When the radius increased by 0.5%. Okay, we have to find our delta R, but we have to use a special formula. Because they never give us the small change for radius. They just give us the percentage change, right? So I'm going to talk about percentage change now. So I will draw a line here. So there's a formula for percentage change. Let's say I want to find percentage change in radius, right? In R. The formula is you take the new R minus the old R and then divide with R times 100. Okay? Take the new R minus the old R, divide with the old R times 100. Then that's how you get the percentage change. And in this case, the R new minus the R old is actually the delta R lah. Yeah, the small change in R lah. And then over the R old times 100. And they already give you the small change is 0.5. So you can find your delta R from here. Just pindah this. Darab jadi bahagi. So when you bahagi, boom, boom, jadi 0.005. But you have to darab with the R old. So R old like that. So your delta R is actually 0.005 times with the R original or you can say the old value of R. But you don't know the old value of R now. Yeah, you don't. You don't know. You don't know. But it's okay. I'm sure later ada cara untuk cari. So sekarang kita boleh start to find this one lah. Okay, let's talk about formula first. So when doing small change, the formula that we will use is dy dx almost equals delta y or delta x. Okay, but sometimes it's not dy dx lah. Sometimes it's like dv or dA like that. For this, it will be dv. And it will be dv over dr almost equals to delta v or delta r. How I know? Because, yeah, this one you see it from here already. And also later your equation will be v equals, not r equals. That's why it's dv dr, not dr dv. Okay. Okay, the delta r I know is this 0.0. Okay, but let's not masuk dulu lah. Let's cari dv dr first. So what you have to do, you have to find the write the equation v in terms of r. Yeah, you have to write the v equal to the equation and then differentiate. Okay. Not don't write this. No, that one is not. No. This one is the v value. This one, you know what is the use of this? This one is after differentiate you ganti. This one. This 16 pi is like lepas you differentiate, ganti baru kita guna ni. Sekarang kita nak equation yang v in terms of r. So we have to write this actually. The volume of cone formula 1 over 3 pi r square h. And then differentiate and then baru use this. Okay. But you cannot differentiate. When the right side ada dua unknown, you tak boleh differentiate. Apabila sebelah kanan ada dua unknown macam ni, you cannot differentiate. So what you have to do, you can actually sub the h with 3 because they say the height of cone is fixed. So ya, sebenarnya yang h ni boleh ganti 3. And then cut left with v equals pi r square. Okay, sekarang boleh differentiate. Now you can find the dv dr. So power darab depan jadi 2, power minus 1 jadi 2 pi r power 1 lah. And before you masuk sini, you kena ganti r kan. Okay, dia akan bagi punya. Tapi, okay, I know dia tak bagi kan. Dia bagi v instead, right? Boleh, tak ada masalah. Kalau dia bagi v, it's okay. Masuk dalam original equation, cari r. So, masuk dalam yang ni. Okay? Okay, jangan masuk ni. Sebab kalau you masuk ni, actually can also lah. But if you masuk ni, make sure the h letak 3 lah. So, I masuk ni terus lah. So, pi r square sama dengan 16 pi. Cut. R sama dengan square root 16 which is 4 and negative 4. Tapi radius mana ada negative. So ambil positive 4 lah. So ini 8 pi. So 8 pi itu baru tulis sini. And then delta V is the final answer we want. And delta R is this one lah. 0.005 times R original. And guess what? The R original is 4. Yeah. Because we find it just now already. Okay? Yeah. Wait. Boleh ke ganti 4? Ya, boleh lah. Yeah, because every time, because they give us the 16 pi is the original volume. So when you sub back to the original equation, you will get back the R original value. So yeah, this is how it looks like now. So now, you just tekan ini darab dengan ni. Okay. Okay, I will write the answer in terms of pi. So I will tekan 8 times 4, which is 32 times 0.005. So my calculator gives me 4 over 25. 4/25, or you can write 0.16 also can. Okay, so your delta V answer 4/25 pi cm cube. The other way to write it is 0.16. This one is in decimal lah. Okay, that's the delta V. Okay, yeah, so that's the answer. That's how I would do it. Okay, okay, still doing number 8. So it means it's still the same chapter, but this one is actually not differentiate already, it's integrate. Yeah, but these two chapters, they are like kind of related. Yeah, the differentiate and integrate is like there's a bit connection, so they like to mix up these two chapters in one question. Okay, so this one is integration, and I'll tell you straight away, this question you have to use the properties of definite integral, and I'll talk about it now. So properties of definite integral. What is properties? Ciri-ciri. Definite integral is kamaran tentu. Kamaran tentu means when you have the numbers, when you have the number on top and at the bottom for the integration. So there's five properties, and they always ask this in paper 1, right? Yeah, like if you got do a lot of trial paper, you know one. Every time paper 1 they like to ask about this when they ask about the definite integral properties. First property, when you have integrate, let's say a b, and you have K fx dx. Kalau hubungan dia darab, boleh hantar depan. Boleh tulis depan. And then dia jadi macam ni. Okay. Tapi kalau tambah tolak tak boleh. Dia darab baru boleh. Okay. Next property, kalau saya ada integrate AB fx dx, saya boleh terbalikkan nombor tu jadi BA. B to A. But you have to letak negative. Yeah, that's the second one. That's the second one. The third one, when you have integrate A to B, fx plus minus G, wait, is this correct? Ya, betul lah. Fx plus minus Gx dx. Dia boleh pecah jadi integrate A to B fx dx plus minus integrate A to B Gx dx. Ya, that's the one. Okay. Maksudnya kalau dalam ni ada dua term, kita boleh cat. Tapi dia kena plus minus lah. And then yang ni cat jadi two separate integral. Okay. Okay, for the next one is the gabung punya. Integrate A to B fx dx. Tambah. Tambah. And then integrate B to C fx dx. Ya. Tapi dalam kena sama. Dalam kena sama. And then nombor sini, nombor silang sama, boleh combine. Boleh combine. Kalau tambah lah. Kalau tambah. So it becomes integrate. Bawah A atas C fx dx. So when you have two integrate, tengah-tengah tambah, dalam kena sama. Dalam kena sama. And then nombor atas dengan bawah sama macam ni. Boleh potong-potong. And when you potong-potong, atas tinggal C, bawah tinggal A lah. Okay, for the last properties is when you have integrate AA fx dx equals 0. Okay, the last property is when you have the same number here and here. Bila dia sama number, atas bawah punya number sama, then the answer mesti kosong. Doesn't matter what's inside here, we don't care. Okay, when the number is same, straight away you can write 0. Okay, so these are all the properties you need to know lah. The 5 properties. Okay, and they like to ask this in paper 1. They don't usually ask this in paper 2 1. Paper 2 they ask about the area volume 1. Paper 1 they ask about this. Okay, the properties. Okay. So let's do this question now. It is given that integrate from 0 to P fx dx is 3. Okay, this is a information. Ini adalah satu information. And then integrate 0 to P gx dx is 6. This is also information. Another information. And then if integrate 0 P h fx plus k gx dx minus this one equals to 12, such that h and k are constant, express h in terms of k. So you will use these two information to help you lah. First thing, this one is already same with this. Yeah, you use your eyes, you can see it's the same. P bawah, kosong atas. Oh, tak sama. Yeah, malu yeah, tak sama. This one is integrate. Okay, the gx dx is same, gx dx, but this one is 0 bawah, P atas. Ini P bawah, 0 atas. Tapi tak apa, kita boleh guna second property to terbalikkan the number. So kita terbalikkan, dia akan jadi BAM. P0 jadi 0P gx dx sama dengan 12. Tapi kena tukar tanda, letak negatif. So dia jadi macam ni. Minus macam ni. Faham kan? Ataupun kalau you nak cepat, terus tulis tambah boleh juga. Because minus jadi plus, right? Siap. And then the next baris dia akan jadi tambah. Yang ni boleh letak 6 lah. Sama dengan 12. Tapi ada lagi this thing. Oh my god. This look very scary, right? But it's very easy lah. I told you kalau ada dua term macam ni, kita boleh pecah. So guna yang mana? Yang ini. You see, dalam ada dua term, pecah jadi two separate integrals. Okay. And after pecah jadi two separate integrals, you use the atas information to help you. So can you see dalam ada dua term? So kita boleh buka dua integrate kat sini. First one would be h fx dx. Don't forget to write dx. Usually students forget this. And then plus or minus. Okay, you ikut sini. Sini plus, so sini plus juga. And then k gx. And then dx. And don't forget the number is 0 bawah, P atas. Ini pun sama. 0 bawah, P atas. So sekarang buat apa? H and K. Tengok dia punya hubungan darab. So which property? Boom, the first one. Tengok. Kalau darab boleh tulis depan. So you can write before kalau darab. So what you do now? Letak H macam ni, 0P fx dx. And then ini pun sama. Okay, gx dia darab mah. So boleh tulis sini. 0p gx dx. Okay, I think this 6 I'll just pindah sana lah. 12 minus 6 jadi 6. Okay. Okay, kenapa saya buat macam tu? Kenapa ada H and K I tulis depan? Because I know I take out, you see. This one integrate 0p fx dx. This one integrate 0p fx dx. 3 sudah sama. So boleh ganti. 3. Sebab tu I keluarkan the H lah. Because I want it to match with this. Then boleh ganti 3. What about this? Integrate 0p gx dx. Adakah dia sudah sama? Sama sudah. Gx pun sama. And the nombor atas bawah pun sama. 0p, 0p. So 6. So ganti je 6. Equals to 6. Now finally we can try to cari H in terms of K. So jadikan H single. So 3H sama dengan 6 minus, what is this? 8K, right? This one is 6 lah. Okay, saya sendiri punya tulisan pun saya tak tahu. This one is 6 or 6, right? Let me double check. Yeah, 6, 6, 6. So 6 minus 6K. And then bagi 3, bagi 3. So 2 minus 2K. Yeah, 6 divide 3, divide 3. So this is the answer. Okay. Alright, this is the correct way to do it. That's all. Oh my god, ada lagi E ah. This number 8, why so panjang? Ada A, B, C, D, E sampai E lagi. Okay, let's go. So 8E, let's do it. Given that d dx 4 3hx equals x plus 1 over 3x minus 4, find integrate this thing dx in terms of hx. This question they always ask lah in paper 1. Yeah, in trial paper also you see it already. Every day time they ask this, and I always explain it the same way. Don't integrate yourself. Siapa yang pergi integrate sendiri? Why? Just why? Don't lah, takkan mau integrate sendiri. Kalau dia ada bagi information, means you have to use the information. Yeah, you can tengok balik all my previous trial videos. I always say the same. They always ask this type of question in paper 1. Yeah, memang selalu tanya. So, this question, they mix the differentiation and integration. So, they give you this information. What you have to do is change this information so that it becomes integrate. Because this one, they tell you differentiate yang ni sama dengan ni kan. But you convert your information so that it becomes integrate. Sebab nanti yang you cari pun yang you cari nanti ada integrate juga. So you change this information supaya dia jadi ada integrate lah. And the way is very easy. Integrate x plus 1 over 3x minus 4 equals to 4 over 3hx. Okay, I forgot the dx here. Yeah, it should be dx and then equals 4 over 3hx. For those who don't understand, it's because differentiate yang ini dapat ini. This process is differentiate. So what happens when I integrate yang ini? So I dapat balik 4 over 3hx lah. And of course, my favorite way to explain this, if you all watch my video a lot, you know one. My favorite way to explain is what? D hantar sana, jadi integrate punya simbol. Dx hantar, dia drop bawah mah. So it's like bahagi. So dia akan jadi macam darab lah. So you tulis atas. So integrate this, dapat ni. Sama lah dengan apa yang saya tulis ini. I always explain it like that one in all my videos. Okay. So after you do this, sekarang baru you start to buat yang ini. Sekarang baru you tengok yang ini. Okay. So let's start to do it. Okay, integrate this thing, right? So what you will do is you will not integrate yourself. You will not wait, this one is X. So you will not integrate this yourself. No. You will try your best to change this so that it becomes like that. You will try to change this like that, and then ganti with 4 over 3hx. That's the plan. That's always the method to do it. It's always like that. Okay, so what I'll do now, okay, I can clearly see that it's totally different thing. But I can factorkan the 2, right? So left with x squared minus 1. I know it's still not the same, but it's okay. We do it slowly. Take it easy. So yeah, step by step. So we factor the 2, it become like that. The 3x squared minus 7x plus 4, I feel like can factorize also. Okay. Basically, what I'm doing is I'm trying my best to change so that it looks like this later. Because if it looks like this, then I can straight away ganti the 4 of 3hx. So how do you factorize this? Just use the calculator to factorize lah. A tekan 3, B negative 7, C is 4, and your calculator will give you 2 answers. X equals 4 over 3, and X equals 1. Betul lah? Let me try 3 negative 7, 4. Yeah, 4 over 3 and 1. But we don't want the X value. We want the we only want to factorize. We don't want to solve. Yeah, we are not trying to solve for x. We're trying to factorize. So what we want is the baris before this. So 3 hantar jadi darab, 4 hantar balik jadi minus. And then the 1 hantar balik jadi minus 1. This is what we want. Okay. Okay, after you reach here, you can see, oh, bawah 3x minus 4, saya pun 3x minus 4 kan? So, but the x minus 1 kacau. So definitely this one can potong dengan atas. But you cannot potong now because this is x square minus 1. So what you can do, faktor lagi. Ya, atas boleh faktor. So the 3x minus 4, x minus 1, biarkan. The 2 biarkan. Okay, x square minus 1, you can use this to factorize. Differences in square. When you have a square minus b square, dia boleh jadi a minus b, a plus b. Tapi dia kena minus baru boleh ya. Dia kena difference. Difference means minus. And dia kena dua-dua ada square baru boleh. So x square minus 1. But sir, ini 1 tak ada square. Okay. Walaupun dia tak ada square, you boleh letak sendiri. Sebab 1 square is 1 also. 1 square is 1 also. So that's why x square minus 1 square boleh write it as x square minus 1 is the same as x square minus 1 square. And now you can apply this. Your a is your x, your b is 1. So dia akan jadi apa? X minus 1, x plus 1. Sekarang boleh potong. Boom, boom. Okay, adakah dia sudah sama dengan ini? X plus 1 or 3x minus 4? Tak sama lagi, but it's okay. It's okay, it's okay, it's okay. Jangan panik. Tulis macam ni dulu, dx. Okay, you can see apa yang kacau sekarang? 2 kan? Okay, tell me, what is the hubungan? 2 dengan ni, apa hubungan dia? Darab kan? So tell me, kalau darab hubungan dia, boleh tak kita guna properties of definite integral? Okay, hantar tulis depan macam ni. Boleh mah. Ya. So letak je lah. So dia akan jadi 2 integrate x plus 1 over 3x minus 4 dx. And this is when you sudah sama dengan ini. Tengok, integrate x plus 1, 3x minus 4. Ini pun integrate 3x minus 4. So this whole thing is 4 over 3 hx. So the answer will be 2 times 4 over 3 hx. Like that. So the answer is 8 over 3 hx. And I believe the answer also, the question also say it right in terms of hx. Yeah, you see, in terms of hx. That's why you cannot integrate yourself lah. Because if you integrate yourself tak ada cara tau. Tak ada cara. Integrate tak ada UV punya. Yeah, so tak ada cara integrate yourself. And also if you integrate yourself you punya jawapan mesti tak ada hx. You faham kan? So definitely you have to use this information. For this type of question, it's always like that. I said it many times in my trial videos. It's always like that. If you all watch my videos a lot, mesti you familiar with this. You familiar with me talking about this d hantar sana dx. Yeah, because I always explain it like that. Okay, all right. But yeah, this is the way to do it lah. Okay, that's all. Okay, number 9. Probability distribution chapter. Yeah, Form 5, chapter 5. Yeah, just look at this. I know already. Okay, in an audition for a reality TV show, each contestant is evaluated based on 3 types of talent, which are singing, dancing, acting. So you have 3 talents. Table 9 shows a probability distribution of discrete random variable of x, such that x represents number of talents that the contestant passed in the audition from the previous season. So nilai ni adalah represent apa? Number of talent. So yang ada 0 talent punya probability 17 or 50, 1 talent saja 22 or 50 and so on lah. So A1 determine value of K. Very easy. This is under binomial by the way. Binomial distribution. Yeah, so jangan kita takkan guna itu Z value table lah. We will not be using the Z score table for this because this is binomial. We will only use the Z score table when you see the word normal here. But this is not a normal distribution. So how to find K? Very easy. The total probability for everything is 1. So 1 minus 17 over 50 minus 22 over 50 minus 10 over 50. So the final answer, 1 over 50. Done. Number 2, hence sketch and label the distribution on diagram 9. Okay, this is the one lah, the binomial distribution graph. Okay, yang ni dia jarang tanya one in exam. Okay, but they ask in this year SPM lah. Tapi tak susah pun nak sketch. So let's see whether they got provide me with anything. Okay, yeah, they got give me like a axis. They already draw for me. So yeah, the x-axis you have to write x, small x, or they use r for this. And then the y-axis is to write the probability. Okay, the way to draw this graph, first of all, you need to know this graph will be a discrete random variable. Yeah, it will be a discrete function. It means later your graph, you will use the graph will be separate one. They will not be continuing. Okay, Okay, it's okay. Later I'll tell you what I mean by that. Okay, let's label the x-axis first. 0, 1, 2, 3, right? Okay, you cannot do like that. 0, 1, 2, 3. Cannot. Yeah, I remember teaching this to my own student also. For binomial, the zero, okay, this is 0 for the y-axis, but for the x-axis, the 0 have to be here. And then baru 1, baru 2, baru 3. Yes, you have to make sure you have space for 0 like that. Okay? And then for the y-axis is the probability lah. So you have, okay, this one is 1 over 50, right? So what you have to do, you have to make, you can do a scale lah. So walaupun dia sketch punya soalan and dia tak bagi skala kan, but I will choose a good scale to use so that my graph don't ends up, because I don't want my graph to look ugly. So yeah, so we have 1 over 50. Okay, the denominator all same already. Semua over 50, 50, 50, 50. So we can just look at the atas number lah. We have 1, 10, 22, 17. So the highest is 22. So I think I can go like that. 5, 10, 15, 20. Okay, 5, 10, 15, 20. And now we look for 1 over 50. So this one is 5, right? So imagine where is 1 over 50. So it's like, lebih kurang here lah. And I'll write the number here, 1 over 50. Okay. And then 10 over 50 would be exactly here. Okay. Yeah. 22 over 50. Okay, I remember this one is 15, this one is 20. So 22 is like slightly above lah. Okay, just lebih kurang lah, agak-agak saja. Tak payah accurate sangat. It's a sketch question mah. So yeah, boleh. 17, okay, I remember this one is 15 mah. So 17 is like slightly above. Okay. Why I write 15? 17, huh? Oh, one more thing. You can actually erase this line if you want. Yeah, because it's sketch mah. So you can actually erase it. Okay, like, yeah, you want to erase it, can also. Okay. But the reason I put the line there is to help me know where's the around where lah, the position where, like around where. Okay, 17 or 50 is when 0, so 17, so this is the first point. And then 22 or 50 is here. And then 10 or 50 is this one. And then for the last one is 1 over 50 here. Okay, so when you draw the binomial distribution graph, it will look like this. It's just a straight line going up, going up, going up, going up. Okay, and the graph will not be continuous. Yeah, these 2 points, they will not join together. If they join together, it means it become a continuous random variable. But binomial distribution is a discrete random variable. Yeah, it's discrete. It means the x is countable. It's 0, 1, 2, 3 is integers. Yeah, it doesn't cover like 1.5 or 2.5. No, because this one is like bilangan talent. So bilangan number, the quantity should be a whole number, integer. There shouldn't be any decimal fraction. So it doesn't cover the value in between lah. You only take the integer. That's why it's a discrete random variable. That's why the graph look like this. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Hope you understand. That's all. Okay. I think I will draw dotted line to make it. Yeah. If I'm the one doing it in the exam, I will definitely do this. Yeah. So that it's like it looks it looks nice lah. Okay. That's all. Okay. Now we are at the B question. Wait, what is this? Dilarang menulis jawapan di ruangan ini. Oh, they mean like here. Okay. But not important lah. Okay, let's go B. Contestant who pass with at least 2 types of talent will qualify to the next stage. Okay, at least means bigger or equals. It means if you have 2 talents ataupun lebih, you qualify to next stage. Okay, using the answer in A1, estimate the number of contestant who will qualify if the total number is 1850. Confirm they are asking to find mean. Yeah. So you have to use this formula n times p. We already know the n is 1850. So yeah, because they want estimate, right? It means like the average lah, the mean lah. So the total number is 1850 times with the small p. But the small p, you have to masuk apa tau? You have to masuk probability yang at least 2 types of talent. And they already say use the answer from here, right? So what is the probability of at least 2 talent? We have to take 10 over 50 plus 1 over 50. Okay, because at least this one is probability yang 0 talent, this one is 1 talent, this one 2 talent, 3 talent. So we are trying to find number of contestant yang boleh qualify for next stage. Tapi dia kata at least 2 talent baru boleh qualify next stage. So at least 2 punya probability 10 over 50 plus 1 over 50, which is 11 over 50. So just tekan this one, you get the answer. Okay. So let's see what I get. Okay, the mean is 407. That means the total number of contestant, uh, I mean, no, the number of contestant yang qualify is 407. Okay, okay, that's all. Okay, let's continue. Number 10. Okay, this is permutation and combination from 5 chapter 4. Okay, pilih atur dan gabungan. Let's go. Determine the number of different ways to arrange 7. Okay, arrange. So the keyword here is arrange. So kalau arrange means susun. Maksudnya the order is important. The order is important. The arrangement is important. So you have to use P permutation. So we want to arrange 7 letters from the word sempurna in a row without repetition. Okay. First of all, you have to check whether this word have any identical object. Because kalau dia ada identical object, then we have to use a different formula. Yeah, the permutation for identical object punya formula. So let's check whether I have identical object ataupun object secaman. It means ada tak letter yang repeat. So S tak ada E M P U R. Okay, tak ada repeat. So it's 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 completely different letters. So when you want to susun all 8 letters, you'll be 8P8. But this one is arrange 7 only, so it's like 8P7 and the answer is 40320. Okay, what if the question say with repetition? What if? What if the question says with repetition? Then you have to take 8, because 7 letters, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Then you have to take 8 times 8 times 8 times 8, 7 kali. Itu kalau dia kata with repetition lah. Tapi kalau without repetition, you just buat 8 times 7 times 6 times 5 times 4 times 3 times 2, which is 8P7 lah, basically. Yeah, so this is only worth 1 mark, and that's all. Okay. Yeah, I'm pretty sure yes, you all can do this yesterday. Yeah, it's quite easy lah, this one. Okay, B is the one that I heard a lot of students complain about. Yeah, a lot of students message me, tell me like, sir, B, I don't know how. Okay, let's see. A 4-digit number is to be formed using the digit 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, such that the repetition of digits 1, 2, 3, 4 is not allowed. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cannot repeat, but 6 can repeat. But repeat how many times, they never say. Okay, and then find number of different ways the 4 digits can be formed. Okay. All right. I will write down all the option I have first. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. But 6 can repeat, right? So I'll tell you now, this 6 will have 4 times like that. Yeah, these are all the options. Okay. Okay, before I continue, I'll just mention one question that I pernah buat. Okay. So yeah, I suddenly I recall doing this question before, like long time ago. So I'll try to tell you the question. So it's like that. Okay, and then I want to arrange all these numbers with the condition all numbers other than 3, other than 3, other than 3 appearing exactly twice. Yeah, this is a question that I pernah do it. Okay, and I believe it's in the textbook. Yeah, this is like from a question from the textbook. Okay. Yeah, and the reason why I suddenly talk about this is because it's very similar to this question. Okay, so let me tell you what's the meaning. Arrange all this with all numbers other than 3 appearing exactly twice. You know what it means? It means every number will appear exactly twice except 3. So your option is not 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's 1, 1, 2, 2, 3 sekali saja, and then 4, 4 dua kali, 5, 5 dua kali, 6, 6 dua kali. So this is basically what you are arranging. Okay, so it's no longer arranging 6, is arranging 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So it's actually 11 factorial divide with identical, 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 identical. So 2 factorial, 2 factorial, 2 factorial, 2 factorial, 2 factorial. 1, 2, yeah. Betul lah. Yeah. So this is the answer. Okay. Yeah, but let's come back to this question. Let's come back to this question. So they say repetition of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is not allowed. That means 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is we don't allow to repeat, and we are trying to form a 4-digit. So I will draw 4 slots here, right? So the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 memang boleh sekali saja. Okay, sekali saja. But the 6 can repeat. But they never say repeat how many times, right? They just said It's different with this one. This one they got say exactly twice. That's why all the numbers I make sure I write exactly twice, except the three lah, except the three. But this one they never said. They just said 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cannot repeat, but 6 can repeat. But they never said twice. But I know it can go until 4 times because there's only 4 slots. Is it possible to get 6, 6, 6, 6, 6? No, it's not possible. There's only 4. That means you might get 6, 6, 6, 6 or 6, 6, 6 repeat 3 times or repeat 2 times. It means you can only repeat the 6 2 times, 3 times, or 4 times. That's why the option becomes 6, 6, 6, 6 like that. Okay. So now you can find a number of ways to arrange the 4 digit. So you got how many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So it will be 9 factorial, or you can write 9p9. No lah, not 9 factorial, 9p4. Yeah. Kalau 9p9 means is like you arrange 9 into 9 slot. But it's only 4 slots, so it's 9p4. But you have to divide with 4 factorial because identical. Okay. Yeah, because when there's identical object, for permutation yang ada identical object, the formula is n factorial divided with a factorial, b factorial, c factorial, dot, 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 dot. The a, b, c represents the number of identical object. That is why for this case, I divide 2 factorial so many times because it's like you have 2 identical here, 2 identical here, 2 identical. Yeah, that's why. This one has 4 identical 6. That's why I divide 4 factorial. So when you tekan this, then you will get the answer. So I'll tekan the calculator, 9p4 divide with 24. 9p4 divide 4 factorial. Okay, I got 126. Okay, 126. So this is how I would do it. Okay, that's all. Okay, number 11. What chapter is this? Student different choose. Okay, from 5. Oh, same chapter lah. Same with this one lah. Also from 5 chapter 4, permutation and combination. But this one I think you have to use C because choose. The keyword choose. Okay, there are 25 students present at the general meeting of STEM society. So 25 is the total number of students. Find number of different ways to choose the 4 students to lead the community. The keyword is choose. So when you choose, pilih orang, the order is not important. Yeah, it's not important. And also choose is the keyword already. Kalau dia nampak choose ataupun select, that means you use C. So this is very easy. Just do 25 C4. I'm sure everyone can do this correctly. The answer is 12650. Let me just double check quickly. Okay, betul. So that's the answer. Okay. Now for B, I'm sure they will ask yang ada condition punya lah. Okay, let's see. After the leaders are chosen. Yeah, choose 4 students to lead, right? So 4 is the leader. So 25 now have to minus 4 lah. So 25, because 4 is the leader, so left with 21. Okay, what happens? The remaining number of boys to the number of girls is in the ratio 4:3. Oh, that means the 21, you have boy, you have girl. But how many? I don't know. But they give us the ratio 4:3. 4 is the ratio for boys. So this one is 4/7 lah. Yeah, because 4 dia punya nisbah, and then jumlah 4 tambah 3, 7. And then this one is 3/7. So I think I can find out the bilangan. Just take 4/7 times 21. And you will get 12. Maksudnya boy ada 12 orang. Girl ambil 3/7 times 21, you get 9. You can use your calculator to help you. So now you know got 12 boy, 9 girl. Okay, a boy called Zam and a girl called Min are among them. Okay, so out of the 12 boys here, there's one boy named Zam, and out of the 9 girl, ada satu girl named Min. Okay, find the number of different ways 5 committee members. Oh, nak pilih 5 saja. Can be chosen such that the number of boys is more than the number of girls. And it must include either Zam or Min. Oh my god, there's 2 conditions here. First condition is the boy must more than girl, and then the next condition is it must include either Zam or Min. What if I include both? Can I include both? Must include either Zam or Min. It means dia kena include salah satu sajalah, I assume. Yeah, I think they only want include salah satu saja. Okay, tak apa. Let's write down all the options for boy more than girls. So kalau you pilih 5 members, you either get 5 boy, 0 girl, ataupun 4 boy, 1 girl, ataupun 3 boy, 2 girl, ataupun 2 boy, 3 girl, ataupun 1 boy, 4 girl, ataupun 0 boy, 5 girl. Betul? That's are all the option kalau you choose 5. Tapi dia kata boy more than girl. So this one all cannot lah. Boy more than girl, right? So kita ambil ini. Tapi you tak boleh terus buat sebab ada lagi satu syarat. It must include either Zam or Min. So that is the part that we have to jaga-jaga kan. Kalau tak ada ni kalau let's say dia tak kata ni lah. Kalau saya potong yang ni, then you boleh terus buat dah. Just buat 12C5 times 9C0 plus 12C4 times 9C1 plus 12C3 plus times 9C2 and then equal. Okay. Tapi ini dia ada cakap satu lagi condition must include Zam or Min. Okay, so how do you do that? That means we have to pecahkan and do it separately. Okay. So let's try to include Zam. So I'll write here include Zam. It means I do it separately lah. I cari bilangan cara yang include Zam, and then I cari bilangan cara yang include Min, and then I tambah the two answers separately macam tu. Yeah, that's the only way. Okay, Zam is a boy. So imagine if you want to include Zam, that means you have to do 1C1 because Zam is a boy, so 1C1. And since one boy sudah dipilih, that means it's not 12 boy anymore. It's 11 boy, but you only choosing. So all these have to minus 1 lah. Jadi 2, ini jadi 3, ini jadi 4. Ya, boleh faham kan? Because Zam is a boy. So if you include Zam, it means you want all. Yeah, because one boy already ma. So just choose another 2 boy lah. So let's calculate for this one lah. So it become 11C2 times with the 9 girl. Okay, choose 2. So 9C2 like that. Yeah, I think. So you end up with 3 boys. Yeah, 3 boys. 1 Zam and 2 random boys. And then 2 girls. Yeah. But it can also be what? Plus with, it can also be this one also, right? So same thing. I have to do 1C1 because Zam must included. And then, wait, what if I take 1 minus? Okay, suddenly I have another idea. What if we just take no condition minus with? Okay lah, never mind lah. I think I'll just do it like that lah. Yeah. Okay lah, tak apa, let's just, I already do halfway already. So I think this method works also. So okay, 1C1, okay, I do this one. So satu sudah Zam, that's why minus 1. So 3 boy, kena ambil lagi 3 boy. So 12 boy, choose another 3 times with 1 girl, I think is from the 9 lah, 9C1 like that. Okay, but there's one more which is 4 boy, 0 girl. So how do you make sure it's 4 boy, 0 girl? Okay, Zam mesti sudah kena pilih. But you have 4 boy, right? 5 boy, but 1 sudah Zam lah, so tinggal 4. So it's 12C4 and then times with 9C0 here. Okay. Okay, let's tekan this and see what we get. Okay, let's tekan this and see what we get. Okay, 11C2 times 9C2. Ini saya dapat 1980. And then this one 12C3 times 9, 1980. Apa pasal dia jadi macam ni? Okay, I silap. I did wrong. This is not 12. This is 11, guys. Yeah, you all know why it's 11, right? Because 1C1 is the Zam pilih already, and Zam is a boy, so the total should not be 12, should be 11. Yeah, so I made a mistake. Yeah, I just noticed it. Yeah, so ini baru betul lah. 11C3 times 9. Okay, this is 1485. 1485. And then the last one is 11C4 sahaja. So it's 330. Okay, now let's add everything. Ini tambah ni, tambah ni. So plus 1485 plus 1980. Okay, I get 3795. But this is not the answer. This is just the number of ways if you include Zam. If you include Zam and boy more than girl lah. Yeah, if boy more than girl and include Zam. But we have to calculate another one for including Min. Including Min. So let's write here. Okay, I need space. Okay, I think enough lah. Include Min. But you have to make sure the boy still more than girl also. Okay, so let's do the first one. So if I include Min, what happens? Okay, I think this one have to reset. Reset balik jadi 3 boy, 2 girl, 4 boy, 1 girl, 5 boy, 0 girl, right? So you want to boy more than girl. But now you are saying boy more than girl. Okay, let's do 1C1 first. Yeah, because it's like you have to choose the girl, right? So now what happens? Your girl have to -1, right? So when you this one tak boleh lah. This one memang tak ada lah. Okay. Tak payah tengok yang ni. So this one -1 jadi 0. -1 jadi 1, -1 jadi 2, -1 jadi 3, -1 jadi 4. Yeah, because it's like you already choose one girl, right? But if you want boy more than girl, confirm this one cannot. This one also cannot. Because boy more than girl. Is this boy more than girl? I don't think so. Because it's 2 boy, 3 girl. So you just left with this, I guess. Yeah, this one is boy more than girl, right? 3 boy, 2 girl, 4 boy. Yeah. So dua ni saja lah. So there will be 2 bracket here. And then equal. Okay, let's do for this one. 4 boy, 1 girl. Okay, the 1 girl is already the mean already. So just left with the 4 boys. And the 4 boys you pilih daripada berapa orang tadi? 12. So 12 C4 like that. Wait, is this correct? 12 C4. Correct lah. Yeah. The 9 already choose 1, tinggal 8 already. But the 8 I just need to choose 0. So yang ni tak tulis pun tak apa. Ya, tak tulis pun tak apa. Sebab 8C0 is 1. Ya. Okay lah, tapi I tulis lah. So that you understand. So 8C0. Okay, now we kena pilih buat yang ni. 3 boy, 2 girls. But is 1 girl is already the mean. 1C1. Okay. So there's 1 more girl to be chosen. Satu lagi perempuan yang kena pilih. Daripada 9 orang ke? Bukan, 8 orang. 8 orang. Sebab yang tadi mean sudah dipilih. So 8 orang. And then darab lagi dengan 12 boy tu. Pilih berapa tadi? 3 boy. 12C3. Yeah, and then tambah sini and then equals. Okay, so let's do this. 12C4 times 1. So 12C4, 495. Tapi belum siap. Yang ni pula 8 times 12C3. Wait, I tekan kereta. 1760. And then tambah. Okay, I dapat 2255. Okay, so what is the answer? The total, if you want to include ZAM or min, the total is where is it? 3795. Because 3795 is kalau you include ZAM, right? And then min yang total is 2255. And then tambah dapatlah jawapan. Okay, I get 6050. 6050 ways. Okay. Okay, so I think this is the answer. So because they ask for boys more than girls and also must include ZAM or min, right? So I think what they mean by include ZAM or min means is like dia kena either kena ada mesti ada ZAM dalam ataupun min sahaja pun boleh. Mesti ada ZAM only ataupun because dia kata or kan. Yeah, so ZAM or min. So yeah, I just do it separately lah. Okay. Okay, this is how I would do it. Hope you understand. Okay, now is number 12. What chapter is this? I see the circle. I know already from 5, chapter 1, circular measure. Okay, diagram 12 shows a geometrical mural drawn by members of the art club. Okay, the mural consists of rectangle QRST. So this is a rectangle. Okay, and a semicircle PQBAT with a center P. Okay, PQBAT is a semicircle. Semicircle means half a circle, so the angle is 180. And they say the center is P. That means if you tarik from here to here, radius, tarik here to here, radius, tarik here to here, radius also. Means P is the midpoint lah. And remember they told you this is a rectangle. So atas bawah mesti sama panjang. So we can take 1.84 bahagi 2. Dapat 0.92, 0.92. Each. Okay. Okay. Wait, let me double check. 0.92. Okay, betul lah. Okay, next. SR is 1.84. Mana? Okay, ini sudah label. Okay, SPR 72. Okay. Alright. So I think I can actually find this angle and this angle. And also this angle also can find. Because this is an isosceles. You can take 180 minus 72 divided 2 dapat here. And this one also can find. 180 minus 72 divided 2. Okay. But let's not find it first. Yeah, let's not find it first. Let's see what they want. Okay, the club has allocated 50 ringgit. Okay, when you see the word allocated means you have to think about this symbol, smaller or equals. Okay, and I'm sure this 50 you will not use it as information. You takkan tengok dulu 50. This 50 I'm pretty sure you have to last kali baru tengok. Yeah, because they always tanya macam tu kan. If they give you the allocation means you have to buat sendiri and then check whether you punya jawapan more than 50 or less than 50. So I'm sure this 50 you last kali sudah siap semua baru tengok. Okay. So allocate 50 ringgit to decorate the mural. Sector TPA and QPB will be painted green. Mana? Sector TPA, this one paint with green. And then QPB sector also green. So QPB sini saya letak warna hijau. Painted with green. A tube of paint costing 6 ringgit will paint an area of 0.25 meter square. Oh, maksudnya nanti kena cari area sector lah. Yeah, you have to find area of sector and then bahagi 0.25 and then darab 6. Get the RM to get the cost. Okay. Yeah, so nanti confirm kena cari area of sector. Okay. And then paint is only sold in whole tubes. Oh, maksudnya dia punya paint dia tak jual dalam tin lah. Dia jual guna tube. Okay. Yeah, so later confirm have to find area of sector. Okay, and the area of sector formula, I'll just write it now. 1/2 r squared theta. Okay. Okay, but let's read the whole question first. The perimeter of blue colored region, okay, blue color this one, will be taped with yellow ribbon. Okay, so tape with yellow ribbon. It means you tape the perimeter. So only the outside line lah. So later I have to find the perimeter of blue region. Okay, a roll of ribbon measuring 2 meter cost 10 ringgit. Ribbon is only sold in whole rolls. So later kalau nak cari the cost you kena cari perimeter and then bahagi 2 and then darab 10. Get the RM. Yeah. Kalau nak cari cost for the ribbon. Okay, now let's see A apa dia mau. Using pi 3.142 determine APB in radian. Okay, this is quite easy. Nak cari sudut APB maksudnya 72 lah. So kita sudah tahu is 72. Tapi dia nak dalam radian, right? So 72 times pi over 180. And they already said pi guna 3.142. So why not you just tekan 72 times 3.142 divide 180. Okay, my calculator give me 1.2568. Usually I'll write 4 significant figures, but since this one dia tak ada banyak decimal place, right? It stops at here. So I just write the whole thing and then write the unit radian. So sekarang kita tahu sudut ni adalah 1.2568 dalam radian. Okay, sekarang B, tentukan sama ada penentukan mencukupi atau tidak, tunjukkan perkiraan anda. Hence determine whether allocation is sufficient or not. Show your calculation. Okay, the allocation here is referring to the 50 ringgit. Remember? They mentioned here, right? 50. So the 50 kita jangan tengok dulu. We have to find out the cost ourselves. And then only we will check whether it's more than 50 or less than 50. If it's more than 50 means it's not enough. Yeah, if our cost is more than 50 means the allocation is not enough. But if our total cost is less than 50 means the allocation is enough lah. So we need some space for this. Okay, first thing we have to find is the cost for the painting green cost. Yeah, that's the one of the cost, right? They mentioned here. And we have to find the area of sector. Okay, so for B, first we have to find area of the green, this one. Okay, because we want to find out how much cost we need for the painting, the green paint. The green paint. So we have to find area of sector, but we need the angle here. Because later we have to use this formula, we need the radius and the angle. Okay, how to find the angle? Okay, very easy, just take 180 minus 72 and then bahagi 2. But later you want your theta in radians, so I will do it fast. I will do it like this. Angle APT, apata, APT. I will take 180 minus 72, but instead of taking 180, I'll take 3.142. Because we all know 180 degrees in radian is pi. So it's 3.142 lah. Minus the 1.2568, like that. And then divide by 2. And then you will get 0.9426 radian. Of course, if you want to take 180 minus 72 and then divide 2 and then convert to radian, can also lah. You get the same also. Okay, but I do it fast. So now we know this angle is 0.9426. Here also. Yeah, it's equal. That's why I divide 2 ma. Okay, now we can find the area. So I'll just write here area. And I'll straight write 2 times. You know why? Because there's 2 sectors. Okay, so 2 times 1/2 r squared theta. The r radius 0.92 meters. Everything is in meters. And then the theta in radian is 0.9426. And then lastly times 2 lah, because there's 2 sector. Okay, tekan all this. The 2 and 2 can cut, and then tekan this, and you get 0.7978. If I write in four significant figures, that's the answer. 0.7978, and it's in meter square lah. But don't forget, we want the cost. We want the cost. So let's find out the paint cost. The painting cost. Paint cost. Okay, I remember they said it's RM 6 ringgit for area 0.25 meter square. That means you have to take this one, divide the thing first lah. Okay, I need space. Oh, this is bad. Okay, I think I'll just write here lah. Paint cost. So 0.7978, you have to divide with 0.25 first, and then times with RM6. Get the painting cost RM. Okay, I'll use the answer button so that I get a more accurate answer. So answer divide 0.25 times 6. So it's 19.1. Okay, this one you have to write 2 decimal place because it's RM, right? So 19.15 ringgit for the green paint punya cost. Now I will do for the ribbon cost. Okay, I will do it down here. Okay, but for the ribbon cost, you need perimeter. You don't find area, you find perimeter. You remember, right? Just now they say here, So the blue color region, see, perimeter of blue color will be taped with yellow ribbon. So yeah, you tape around the blue color region. So you find the perimeter, and then later take the perimeter, divide 2 times 10 to get the RM. Okay, how to find perimeter? Okay, I already know the panjang here is 1.84, but we need the arc here, right? So let's find the arc AB. And it's very easy to find the arc. Very easy. Just use the formula R theta, right? The radius is 0.92 and the theta in radian 1.2568. So 0.92 times 1.2568. So let me press my calculator. 1.156. Yep. So 1.156, and it's in meters. Okay, but we still need the satu lagi panjang. This one and this one, right? So let me think. Alright, how do I find? Okay, later I have to find perimeter. So yang ni tambah ni, kena tambah dua ni. Okay, I'm pretty sure this line and this line will be same length. So you just find this one, and then just copy and paste aja lah. But how do you find this panjang here? Let me think. Okay, I know 0.92 is from here to A, from P to A, right? From P to A is 0.92. So if we can get the whole line, then I can take the whole length minus 0.92, right? But how to find the whole length? Okay, I can see it now. Potong this in half, get a right angle, and then use Sokato. So let me draw it out. So when you cut it in half, the 72 have to divide by 2. So you get 36. Yeah, because this is isosceles. Remember just now I mentioned this is isosceles. So you can cut it in half. When you cut the isosceles in half, you get a right angle. Okay, and of course the 1.84 also cut in half also lah, 0.92. And this is what we want. This panjang, the P to S punya panjang. Okay, so you can use sine, cos, or tangent. Sokato, which one? This is the opposite, and we are trying to find the hypotenuse. So guna sine lah. So it becomes okay, I'll just write here sine 36 equals to O over H 0.92, and the hypotenuse is P to S punya panjang. Okay, so P to S boleh hantar atas jadi darab, and then sin 36 pergi bawah jadi bahagi. So 0.92 bahagi sin 36, 1.565 meter. But of course this is not answer. This is the whole length from P to S. We have to minus 0.92. Kenapa minus 0.92? So that I get this panjang here. Okay. So answer minus 0.92 because I'm trying to find AS. So AS equals 1.565 minus 0.92. So tekan ini dapat berapa? 0.6452 meters. Okay. And now it's time to find the perimeter. Yeah. Perimeters equals. So we have the arc 1.156 and we have the bawah punya 1.84. Is it? Yeah. 1.156 plus 1.84. And then plus 2 times with the AS. Plus with 2 times with this one. Sebab ada dua. Ada dua side yang sama panjang. So tekan semua ni, dapatlah parameter. Okay, I'll use the answer button times 2 plus 1.84 plus 1.156. Okay, my calculator give me 4.286. If I write in 4 significant figure, it's 4.286 meters. Now it's time to find the ribbon cost. Tadi sudah cari painting cost, now is the ribbon cost. Okay, ribbon dia ada cakap berapa tadi? Berapa ringgit? 10 ringgit, but it's for 2 meters. Tapi sekarang saya ada 4.286 meters, so saya bahagi 2 dulu. Lepas tu baru darab 10 lah. Then lepas tu dapatlah RM. So tekan, use the answer button again, so I get more accurate. 21.43. This one you write 2 decimal place because it's RM. So inilah dia punya harga dia. 21 ringgit 43 cents. Now, we have to find the total price. Kita ambil painting cost tambah dengan ribbon cost. This one plus this one. So 19.15 total. 19.15 plus 21.43. So RM, okay, berapa ni? 40.58. So 40.58. And now we can answer the question. Determine whether the allocation is sufficient or not. Show your calculation. So the allocated amount is 50. And now you have to use 40. Is the allocation 50 enough? Yes. Yep. Because this one is less than 50. So I can write yes. And then titik, since RM 40.58 is less than RM 50, therefore okay, macam mana dia tanya? The allocation is sufficient. So the allocation is sufficient, ataupun you boleh tulis is enough pun boleh. Okay. Yeah, the 50 ringgit is enough to cover the cost. Okay, that's all. Okay, let's do bahagian B. Bahagian ni mengandungi 3 soalan, jawab 2 soalan. But I will jawab all 3 questions in this video. Okay, so let's do 13. Okay, I see the word quadratic function. So which chapter? Form 4, chapter 2. Yeah, under quadratic function. Okay, so the fx is kx squared plus 3kx plus 10k squared. Okay, this is arranged in general form already, such that k is constant and has a maximum value of 49/4. Maximum value means the y coordinate for the maximum point. Yeah, the y coordinate of maximum point is 49/4. And then A, by using the method of completing the square, find the value of k. This is like very typical, very standard question they will ask in the exam lah. Okay, ask you to do vertex form. Yeah, do completing square means change to vertex form lah. And then find the turning point, but you only need the y coordinates. Yeah, you will only take your y coordinate answer equals to 49/4. Okay, so let's do it now. So you know completing the square, completing the square is to change to vertex form. So before you do completing the square, the A must be positive 1. And for this case is k. So you have to divide everything by k. But the k will not disappear. You have to write outside the bracket. So when you divide everything by k, you left with x squared plus 3x. Because the k, I already take it out. And then the 10k squared, when you divide by k, left with 10k. And now you can start doing completing the square. So it will be k big bracket. And then you will write plus bracket square here and then minus bracket square here. Right? So later we will leave some space there. So it becomes x squared plus 3x, leave some space, plus bracket square, and then plus 10k, and then leave some space, minus bracket square, like that. And don't forget the big bracket. The big bracket is very important. Because in last kali nanti you kena ambil k ni darab masuk. So the big bracket is very important. Okay, now what we have to write inside here? We have to write b/2. Okay, b/2. And for the b, we can refer here. So it's 3 lah. So it's 3/2, 3/2. And now what we will do is we will ignore this. Just look at this and this. So they both have square. So what you will write? You will write a bracket. X tulis dalam, square ni letak luar. Same thing here, 3/2, I write inside, and then the square I tulis luar. It means you don't have to square lah. The square you already put it outside. And then here plus 10k minus, okay, this time the 3/2 you kena square. So you will do 3 square, which is 9, 2 square, which is 4, like that, and then close the bracket. Okay, 10k minus 9/4, itu tak boleh buat dah. So now what you can do is take the k darab masuk. So when you darab masuk, then the big bracket no need to write already. So it becomes k and then small bracket x plus 3/2 square. And when you darab, it becomes like this, like that, like that, like that. Because there's 3 terms inside. not four terms, because this whole bracket got square. So these are like one, is like together lah, everything. That's why you cannot darab x, darab 3/2, tak boleh. Yeah. So when you darab this, the first one, it will become this. And then the next one, k times 10k, that's going to be 10k square. And then the last one is k times negative 9/4, that's going to be 9k/4, like that. Okay. Okay, I'm done with the computing the square. This is the vertex form. Yeah, this is already the vertex form. And this one tak boleh buat already. So this is the vertex form. So we can butcher from here the turning point, right? So the turning point actually is maximum, because they already mentioned it's maximum. So you know later the k answer will be negative. Okay. So I'll just write here maximum point. So the x coordinate we refer here, but I have to tukar tanda, minus 3/2. And for the y coordinate, we refer the whole thing here, 10k square minus 9k/4. So this is the whole maximum point. But the question asks you for you to find k, and they got give you their own maximum value. It's 49/4. And I told you just now, maximum value means the y coordinate. So just take your y coordinate equals to 49/4 lah. So 10k square minus 9k/4, that's my maximum value, equals to 49/4. Alright, find k, I will hilangkan fraction dulu. So semua darab 4. So it become 40k square minus 9k equals 49. So bila dia nampak ada k square dengan k, means dia adalah quadratic. So you have to susun jadi general form and then use calculator to solve for k. So the 49 pindah jadi minus 49 equals 0. Alright, all these three numbers tak boleh kecilkan dah. So kita boleh tekan calculator, A tekan 40, B tekan negative 9, C tekan negative 49. And your calculator give you two answer, 49/40, and the other one is negative 1. But don't forget, this baris you have to write bracket equals 0. So yang ni you kena pindah balik jadi 40k minus 49, and then yang ni pindah balik jadi k plus 1. Okay, now is the time to reject this positive answer. Because I said already just now, this one, the k must be negative. Why? Because k is actually the a value. And they already say it's maximum. Maximum means when you draw, it will be like, the shape will be like this. Okay, that's maximum. Okay, that's why the a must be negative. So that's why we reject the positive answer. So now you know your k is negative 1. You are done with a already lah. 5 marks for this. Okay, so that's all. Okay, B, sketch the graph of fx for x between negative 6 and 3. So this is the range for the domain lah. So before I start to sketch, I first need to find the points first. Of course, we have to know the shape first. So the shape will be looking like this. But we need to find some important points. So we need to find when x negative 6, when x 3, because that's going to be the first point and the last point. And also find out the x-intercept and y-intercept. And for quadratic, I recommend finding the turning point also. Yeah. All right, so I'm going to do my working here. So before sketching, I have to find some points. All right, first of all, we have to get our equation. So our equation is fx equals kx squared, but your k is negative 1, so negative x squared. And then 3 times k, 3 times negative 1 is negative 3x. And then this one is 10k squared, which is negative 1 squared, positive 1 times 10, positive 10. So yeah, this is the equation, or you can say the function that I'm trying to sketch. Okay, so we need some points, right? So first thing is we need to sub the x negative 6, and we need to sub x 3. Get our first point and the last point. Okay, so I will sub negative 6 inside here. So negative 6 squared is positive 36. So minus 36 plus 18 plus 10. So just use your calculator and press, you get negative 8. So that's going to be the first point. Okay, now the last point, x tiga, you can sub inside. 3 squared is 9, negative 9 minus 9 plus 10. So I get negative 8 also. Okay, so that's the first point and last point, but I recommend finding the x-intercept also and y-intercept. So sub x0 and also sub y0. Okay, sub y0. But when you sub y0, you might get two different answers. Okay, if I sub x0, it's gonna be 0, 10. Okay, yeah, and also this x0 is within this range, right? So yeah, you can take this point. Okay, what if you sub y0? So when this whole thing becomes 0, you will use calculator to factorize, right? So you can press A negative 1 in your calculator, and then B you press negative 3, C you press 10, and the calculator will give you two answers, 2 and negative 5, and that's going to be the roots, the x-intercept. So you have 2, 0 and negative 5, 0. Okay, I know some students, they will draw a table, can also. If you want to draw a table, to write all these points can also, it's up to you. Okay. Yeah, but I didn't draw table because I don't want to drag this video for too long lah. I just did it like that. Okay, but it's the same lah. Okay, but make sure you double check. After finding this point, make sure you double check and make sure the x value is within the range. It's between -6 and 3. Because if it's not within the range, then you cannot take the point. Yeah. So as you can see, 2 and -5, yes, they are in between -6 and 3. So it's good. But if it's outside the range, let's say let's say you get -7 here, then you cannot plot that point already. Yeah, because you have to follow this restriction. Okay. Okay, one more point you need to find is the turning point. Yeah, for sketching quadratic, you need to find the turning point. Okay. So you don't have to find already lah. Actually, you have already. It's -3/2. That's the x coordinate, and the y coordinate maximum value is 49/4. Yeah, they give it in the soalan, right? So with all these points, now you can start to sketch. Okay. All right. Whenever I do sketch, I always do the same way. I always draw the y-axis first, and when I draw y-axis, I always say look at the x value, because you want to know where you draw y-axis, right? In the middle or paling kiri or paling kanan. So if you look at the x value, it will tell you -6, 3, because the domain already said from -6 to 3. So what I would do, my y-axis will be maybe slightly to the right. Yeah, slightly to the right. And nanti sini kena guna sampai 3. And then the left side kena guna sampai -6. That's why this side I leave more space. And I will usually, after drawing y-axis, I will not draw x-axis. Instead, I will go to the y highest value and find out what's the highest value. Okay. So I can see 49/4. Okay, let's change this to decimal. Just see what we get. So it's like 12.25. 12.25. So this one is -1.5 and positive 12.25. Yeah. I need to know this so that I know roughly where's the location. Okay, so the highest point will be 12.25. And then you have 0, you have 8, -8, 10, right? So what I will do, so this one is sketch soalan, means the scala is not important. But still I recommend you make your own scala. Kalau tak nanti it's like your shape will be very weird. Yeah, because sometimes you might, if you don't, how to say, if your scale is too shit, it will affect your drawing later. Okay, so I'm gonna try my best to make it like accurate lah. So 12, right? So why not I just jadikan this one 12, and I will go 10, 8, 6. It means every time I go down I -2 lah. 12, 10, 8, 6, 4, 2, 0. Okay, but I have to go until -8, right? So this thing have to go even longer down lah. So 12, 10, 8, 6, 4, 2, 0, and then -2, -4, -6, -8. Okay. All right. So where's your 0? -8, -6, -4. This is your 0, right? Okay. Now for the x-axis, you know already it will be at 0, right? But you know you have to guna sampai 3 sini, sini sampai -6. So what I will do, this side I will go 1, 2, 3 like that. And then the other side I'll go -1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, like that. This is enough. Okay. All right. So I will just go like that. 1, 2, 3, done. And then this one is -1, -2, -3, -4, -5, -6. Okay. All right. With that, now we can find out all the values we need. So -6, 3, 0. -6, 3, 0. Okay. 2, -5, 2, -5. So 2 is here, -5 is here, and another one is -1.5. So -1. This is -1, -2. So middle, this one is -3/2. Okay, ataupun -1.5. Okay. Yeah, so later no problem. Now for the y, you have -8. Okay, -8, -8. Okay, that one no problem. -8 is just here lah. And then you have 10. So 10 is like 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 is exactly here. All right, now you have 0, no problem. And then 49/4 is 12.25. So we all know 12 is here. So 12.25 is like slightly above. So I'll just put it here and call this 49/4 like that. Right? So this is all the values you need. Okay. Okay, if you want to erase all these lines, you can do that. Yeah, you can do that. Because we don't need all these things, right? But I'm going to leave it there. Yeah, I'm going to leave it there. Okay. But you can erase it if you want. Okay, I'm not gonna write all the values here 2, 4, 6, 8. I will not do that. Okay, I will only write the values that's like important lah. So now we can start to plot -6, -8. That's gonna be down here. -6, -8. So it's like here, and then you have the 3, -8, which is the last point, final point, like this around here. And then you have 0, 10, the y-intercept. Yep. And then the x-intercept 2, 0, and -5, 0. Okay, everything looks nice. Last one, -3/2, 49/4. That's gonna be here. You see, everything is perfect. And if you try to join, you will get a curve. Okay, you'll get a curve. Okay. So I'm gonna try my best to draw it. Okay, this one I didn't plot it at the right place. So I'm gonna do it again. Okay, so it's like that. Okay, I think I draw it very big. So this must be the maximum point. Okay, let me just, okay lah, this is good enough, I think. Okay, I think this is good enough. Let me just adjust this thing a bit. -6, -8. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, I think I draw it a little bit too big, but it's fine lah. It's okay. 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 They wanted me to sketch the graph. I'm done. Okay. All right. I always tell students, for when you label the, how to say, when you sketch the quadratic curve, always label the turning point. Okay, the turning point. For other points, you don't need to label, but for the maximum or the minimum point, I try to label. Okay, and as you can see, the axis of symmetry is right in the middle here. Okay, okay, so that's the answer. Okay, last thing is writing the equation lah. Fx equals, what is it? -x² minus 3x plus 10. So this is how you sketch the quadratic curve. Okay, sudah siap. That should be the answer. Okay, 14. Oh, another sketch question. Yeah, this one also sketch, right? But this time is not the quadratic. This one is from 4 chapter 1. So for this, you don't have to find turning point. Because when you sketch this one, it's not a quadratic curve. Yeah, it's a straight line, and it will be a V shape because got modulus. Okay, okay, it's okay. Let's do A first. So it is given that gx is modulus 1 minus 3x for the domain x between -2 and 2. Number 1, determine whether gx is discrete function or continuous function. Give your justification. Okay, I will explain to you now what's the difference between discrete and continuous. But before that, let's scroll back up to the probability distribution soalan. Where is it? Here. Remember just now here, they also asked to sketch and label distribution graph. And I said what? The binomial graph will be a discrete random variable. So the graph will look like this. Okay? It will be look like this, right? If it's a continuous random variable, then it will be like the points will connected lah. The points will be connected because it covers all the values in between. It includes the decimal and all the decimal in between. But for discrete random variable, we only take the integer. That's why we don't, there's no points between the integers. Okay. So now let's come back to this, right? So what do you think is this curve gx? You all know when you draw it, it's gonna be a V shape, right? So the answer will be continuous lah. Why is it continuous? Because the domain, the x, includes the decimal, includes all the decimals in between. That is why it's continuous. Discrete is when your domain only takes the value yang countable, only takes countable value, means the integers lah, like the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, something like that. Okay, so I'm gonna give you some notes here to explain discrete and continuous. So I'll write here discrete. So for discrete, it's gonna have distinct, separate value, and we can call it like countable integers. Countable integers. What do I mean by countable integers? Like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 like that. Okay. And for discrete, dia punya graph, it will be graphed as dots. As dots. Okay. Just like what you see in the binomial one. It's like that, like that, like that. Yeah, something like that. This one is discrete. But for continuous function, ataupun continuous random variable, it can take on any value. Yeah, it can take on any value. Or you can say like every real number. Every real number. Like all the fraction and all the decimal in between. Yeah, you can take also. Okay. So the example is like time, height, and blah blah blah, so on lah. And the graph, it will be graphed as lines, or it can be curve also, right? So it's gonna be like, yeah, something like that, or maybe like something like that. Yeah, you can see the difference, right? This one, the dots are distinct, they all are separated. This one is like, yeah, they're connected. Okay, because you can take on every value including all the decimals in between. But this one is only take countable only, like 1, 2, 3, 4, or 0, 1, 2, 3. You can't take decimal. Okay. So to make it easy to understand, just remember discrete, integer, continuous, decimal. Yeah, that's the easy way to understand this. So I already know the gx is a continuous function. Okay, they asked to give a justification. So for the reason, I will write it like this. I'll write because gx is a curve. Is it a curve? No, it's not a curve. It's a straight line. Yeah, it's a straight line that can take on any value within the given domain. Within the given domain. Or you can also say gx is a straight line that can take on every value. Yeah, every real number. Yeah, you can also say every real number. Yeah, take on every real number. Real number means like number yang fraction pun boleh ambil, decimal pun boleh. So it's like take on every value within the given domain. It means from -2 to 2, awak bukan saja ambil -101. You boleh ambil like 0.5, 0.7, 0.3. Yeah, you will still get a solution if you use the decimal punya. Yeah, that's why it's continuous. Okay. Alright, hope you understand. Now let's do number 2. Sketch the graph of gx. Alright, this is exactly the same as the last question. Sketch. But the last question, they asked to sketch the quadratic one. This one is not quadratic. This is just a straight line. Yeah, when you sketch, you get a straight line. But if got modulus, that means the line below the x-axis have to reflect up. So you get a V shape lah. Okay, we have to find some points, and of course they got give you range for the domain. So we have to find out x when x -2 and the x2 punya point, because this is the first point and the last point. So when x -2, you sub inside -2 times -3, positive 6, 1 plus 6, 7, modulus 7, 7. That's the first point. For the last point, you ganti 2, 2 times 3, 6, 1 and 6, -5, modulus is positive 5. Now you have to find the x-intercept and the y-intercept. Okay, when finding x-intercept and y-intercept, you ganti x kosong and y kosong lah. Alright, when you sub x0, 1 minus 0 is 0, modulus 1, 1. But you have to check. Okay, now you have to check ganti y kosong lah, y kosong. So it becomes 0 equals modulus 1 minus 3x. Awak kena pindah modulus. And when you pindah modulus, ada dua jawapan, plus minus. Tapi kosong tak ada plus minus, so you can just ignore jadi macam ni. And then 3x equals 1, x equals 1 over 3. But you have to double check and make sure this x is between the -2 and 2. If it's not between -2 and 2, that means you cannot plot that point. So as you can see, 1 over 3 is between -2 and 2. So this point you boleh guna nanti. And that's all. All these points is enough already. Okay, yeah. But I remember just now we got find the turning point, right? That's because it's a quadratic. This one is not a quadratic, so you don't need to find turning point. So these are enough. This is enough. The first point, the last point, x-intercept, y-intercept is enough. All right, I'll use the same method I showed just now, how to sketch. Draw y-axis first, but look at the x value. So you have 0, -2, 2, 1 over 3. In other words, -2 to 2. So I will draw it exactly in the middle. My y-axis will be exactly middle. And then here, on this side, we guna sampai 2. On the other side, we guna sampai -2. But I will not draw the x-axis now. I will start with the highest y value. Wait. Okay, yeah. All right. I will start with the highest y value. And what's the highest y value? Okay, 7, 5, 1, 0. So I can go like 7. And then I just go like 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Yeah. Walaupun dia tak cakap guna skala apa-apa, but we can make our own skala. And it's recommended. Yeah, it's recommended. So that your graph looks good. It looks good. Okay, this is your x and this is your y axis. So 7, okay, 5 ada guna nanti, and then 1 also ada guna. The rest tak nak tulis pun tak apa. Yang 2, 3, 4, 6, 2. If you want to write can also lah. But usually I don't write it one. For the sketch punya soalan, I will just write the important ones. 0, 1. Okay, for the x-axis, you have -2 until 2. So I think I can go like 1, 2, and then -1, -2 like that. Okay, but of course you have 1/3 later, but no problem because here is 1. And then when you cut these two lines like this is 1/3, 2/3, 3/3, and 1/3 you ambil ini lah. Yeah, just lebih kurang agak-agak je. Because this is sketch punya soalan. Okay, let's plot -2, 7. That's the first point here. 2, 5 is here. That's the last point. 0, 1 itu y-intercept. 1/3, 0, that's the x-intercept. Okay, now this one can use ruler because this one is a straight line. Okay. Okay, as you can see, I ran into some problem here. I couldn't make it like touches this point, right? So what you can do is you can adjust. So 2 middle, it's okay. This one I have to make it 1/3, like maybe 2/3, and then this is 1. So 1/3, I just place it here. Yeah, it's sketch punya soalan. You can do that. Okay. Okay, done. This is the answer. Now it looks nice already. So just label the function and you are done. Gx equals what is it? Wait, I forgot. Modulus 1 minus 3x. 1 minus 3x. Yep, that's all. So that's it. Okay, let's move on. Okay, 14b, what is this? Given that fx is x plus 3, number 1, find f and x such that n is a positive integer. It means they want you to generalize. They want you to make a formula. Yeah, make a formula to find f power nx. Okay. So what you will do now, you already know f power 1x is x plus 3. So you're gonna find f power 2x and try to find f power 3x also. And then look at the answer and try to see what try to look for the pattern. Yeah, try to look for the pattern and see the answer follows what kind of pattern. And from there, you can write down your answer for f power nx. Okay, let's do f power 2x is actually fx like that. So you kena buat dalam dulu lah. Dalam fx is x plus 3, so just write it like this. And then the x plus 3, you have to ganti masuk dalam fx punya x. So fx is x plus 3, tapi fx punya x tu kena ganti dengan x plus 3, so you get x plus 6. This is your answer lah. Now for f power 3, it's actually f and then f power 2x like that. And the the f power 2 I already did just now is x plus 6. And then the x plus 6 kena ganti dalam fx punya x. So fx is x plus 3, tapi yang x tu kena ganti dengan x plus 6. So you get x plus 9. So as you can see from all these answers, there's a pattern. There's a pattern. And what is the pattern? When the power is 1, okay, when the power is 1, you get x plus 3. When the power is 2, you get x plus 6. When the power is 3, you get x plus 9. So what happens when your power is n? It will be x plus something also, right? Yeah, because the x plus always is there. Yeah, so your f power n will be x plus also. But these numbers, it varies. Yeah, it's not always the same. It's go from 3 to 6 to 9. And if you recognize these numbers, these are actually the multiple of 3. Yeah, 3, 6, 9 ini semua gandaan 3. Yeah, the multiples of 3. And you can see when the power is 1, you get 3. When the power is 2, you get 6. And when the power 3, you get 9. So what is the relationship between the power and the number here? It's actually 3 To get the number here, you actually take 3 times with the power here, right? Yeah, when it's 1, you get 3. 1 times 3, right? When it's power 2, you get 6 because 2 times 3 is 6. When the power is 3, you get 9 because 3 times 3 is 9. So whatever number here, you times 3, you get here. So the number here is n. That means this is 3n. Not 3 power n, 3 times n, 3n like that. So that's the answer. That is the answer. Okay. So find f power nx such that n is a positive integer. So this is the answer for question 1. Okay. Now for question 2, find hx such that hf power 10x equals to x minus 30x plus 30. Okay, later confirm we have to do the f power 10x first. But takkanlah kita nak buat f 10 kali, betul? Just use this formula. So I'm just gonna find out f power 10x straight away from here using this formula. So it becomes x plus 3n, and n is whatever the power value lah. So 10 lah. So you get x plus 30. So now you know f power 10x is x plus 30. So now you can try to find h big bracket x plus 30, but they say equals to x minus 30 bracket and then x plus 30 bracket. And don't forget what we are trying to find now is the hx. Okay, so let's work on that. So let's work on finding hx. So how do you do it? All right, I have a feeling that some of you did this yesterday in your Addmaths SPM exam. I don't know whether some of you did this or not. I hope not lah. I hope not. I hope none of you go and do this and you write hx equals x minus 30. I hope no one does this because this is wrong. Ya, ini memang sangat teruk. Ya, this one memang salah. You cannot do cut like that because the hubungan here is not times. Hubungan dia bukan darab. You tak boleh just potong macam ni. Yeah, so it's wrong. So what's the correct way? Okay, this is the answer for h bracket x plus 30. But you're trying to find hx. You're trying to find hx. So the way to do that is actually let. You have to let y equals bracket and then cari x. Yeah, because this is the case yang dalam sudah tak boleh buat and then you try to masuk luar tapi luar tak ada. Because luar hx is like question mark. So this is the case where you have to let one. Yeah, let y equals bracket and then cari x from here. So when you cari x from here, it becomes y minus 30 like that. And then rewrite the whole thing becomes hy equals to x minus 30 and then x plus 30. But the x we have to change to y minus 30 and then minus 30 again because of this. And then x plus 30. So the x jadi y minus 30 and then plus 30. Of course, the negative 30 plus 30 becomes 0. So now it just becomes y minus 60 times with y. So your hy answer is y square minus 60y after you expand like that. But you want hx. So just change the y to x. So x square minus 60x. Ini cara betul untuk cari hx. This is the correct method. Okay. Hopefully all of you did this lah yesterday. Yeah. All right. So these were 5 marks. I'm done. Okay. Now we are at 15. So this will be the last question already lah. Okay. What chapter is this? Yeah, you see sin, cos, tan. You know already. This one is from 5 chapter 6. The trigonometry function. So A1, diagram 15 shows a triangle BCA. Okay. All right, they label nicely small a, small b, small c. Small c is the hypotenuse, longer side, and then you have the theta. Based on triangle BCA, okay, derive sine square theta plus cos square theta equals to 1. Okay, this formula they actually asked in one of the trial paper. I forgot which state lah, but in this year trial paper, they actually asked this. Yeah, I remember one of it, Terengganu or SBP or I forgot lah. But yeah, I remember that they got asked this. And yeah, it's not difficult to derive this formula. Okay, let me tell you something. This formula actually comes from Pythagoras theorem. Yeah, it comes from Pythagoras theorem. Okay, so the way to derive this is first of all you have to find out the sine theta and the cos theta for this triangle first. Okay, sine theta and cos theta. Okay, and it's very self-explanatory. Just look at the formula you're trying to derive. You have sine, cos, right? So obviously you need the sine theta and the cos theta lah. Okay, for sine theta, it will be A over C because the sine formula is opposite bahagi hypotenuse. So the opposite is this one. The hypotenuse is this one. This one is the adjacent, right? So sine formula is so O bahagi H like that. For cos theta, it's A over H, so it's B over C. Okay. Okay, what about tangent? Okay, actually we don't need the tangent theta for this case. unless they're trying to derive for the 1 plus tangent square equals to sec square lah. Okay, unless you're deriving this one, then for this, then you have to use the tangent theta lah. But for this, actually no need. Okay, but I find the tangent anyway lah. But we will not be using this later. So tangent is TOA. So OA, opposite bahagi adjacent A over B. Okay, after writing this, now you have to write down the Pythagoras theorem formula. Yeah, because this formula actually comes from Pythagoras theorem. Okay, so the Pythagoras theorem is when you take the two side here, when you square, you will get the longer side square. So for this case, it will be a square plus b square equals to c square, where c is the longest side, the hypotenuse. Okay. So now what you do is you take everything divided by c square. Okay, everything divided by c square, and the reason is very simple. You want this to be 1. Yeah, you want the right side of the equation to be 1. Okay. So what happens here? It becomes a square over c square, and then what happens here? It becomes b square over c square. So now that your right side is 1, now you just have to work on the left side. Okay, the left side is a square over c square, and since they both the number got square, you can put the square outside the bracket like that, and then you just left with bracket a over c inside. Same here, both the b over c both also got square, so you can write outside the bracket and b over c. And I'm sure you see where this is going. The a over c is sine theta, right? So the bracket becomes bracket sine theta and then square. And then the b over c is the cos. So cos theta bracket square equals to 1. But when you write sine theta square, we don't write the square here. We write it here, sine square theta like that. And then this one, same thing, cos square theta like equals to 1. And this is the basic identity formula derived. So you can just write derived here and you are done. Okay. Yeah, for derived punya soalan, the hard part is always how to start. Yeah, the hard part is always like what student always struggle with, like not knowing how to start, right? That like the first few steps. When you can do the first few steps, the rest is like you just, yeah, it's quite easy one lah. Okay. Anyways, this is how you do it. Okay, now for the last is for the number 2, prove that this thing equals to this. Okay, let's prove. Okay. All right, I feel like I need a lot of space for this. So yeah. All right, I think it's enough space here. Okay, looking at this, it's like very complicated, right? Sine square theta plus cos theta plus 1 over 2 minus cos theta equals sec theta plus 1 over sec theta. Okay, we have to choose one side to start. You can either start from the left hand side, or you can start from the left hand side also can, right hand side also can. But usually I will start with the more complicated side. Okay. All right. Imagine if I start from the left hand side. What can we do if we start from this side? Okay, of course, the sine square, you can use the basic identity formula. You can change to 1 minus cos square theta. And then I think that's it. 1 plus 1 can jadi 2 minus cos square theta plus cos theta over 2 minus cos theta, something like that. Right? But the other side, I want sec theta plus 1. And sec I know is 1 over cos. Okay, I think I will start from right hand side, guys. Yeah, right hand side, I think is the more complicated. Because right hand side, the sec theta, they cannot use basic identity because tak ada square kan. Tapi sec boleh tukar jadi 1 over cos. And when you tukar jadi 1 over cos, dia jadi 4 tingkat. So that's why I decide to start from right hand side. Yeah, because that side is more complicated. So it becomes sec theta plus 1 over sec theta. And then this one can change to 1 over cos, 1 over cos. But of course, our goal is to make it look like this in the end, right? So I'm gonna try my best. All right, when you have fraction like that, you always do the same thing. You try to samakan the penyebut, you samakan the denominator. So what you can do, take the 1 times with cos theta and then tulis atas. So jadi macam ni lah, 1 plus cos theta. And then divide with 1 over cos theta. Okay, but don't forget this is what we want. Alright, so until here you can tukar ni jadi 1 plus cos theta over cos theta. Bahagi 1 over cos means darab cos theta over 1. Okay, so you can cut, you left with 1 plus cos theta, right? Okay, I end up with something that looks very simple. 1 plus cos theta, you can see it's like something very simple, right? But it's not anywhere near to what I want. This is what I want at the end. So what I will do now instead is I will do from left hand side. Yeah, I know I've decided to start from the right hand side, but I will do from the left. But since I'm already stuck here, then what I will do, I will start from the left hand side now. And if the left hand side later working, I can reach here also. That means that means I can continue from here and then just work backwards until I reach back to the left hand side lah. Okay. Okay, don't worry, you will understand later. So what I will do now is simplify the left hand side. Okay, the sine square just now I told you can change to 1 minus cos square because of the basic identity formula. And then plus cos theta plus 1 over, okay, the rest, all this cannot change. Yeah, nothing you can do about it. Okay. All right, so 1 plus 1 jadi 2. And then negative cos square, I'm just going to write it here, and then plus cos theta like that. And then over 2 minus cos theta. Okay. All right, how do you simplify this? Remember, this thing can change to this one. Yeah, it can change to this. Okay. So we have to figure out how. Okay, I can see this looks like a quadratic, right? Because it's like cos square cos. So I think I will factorize this, but first I will take out my negative first. So when I take out the negative, it becomes cos square theta. The plus jadi minus cos theta, and then plus 2 jadi minus 2 over 2 minus cos theta. And then now the negative, this one I will try to factorize. And then over 2 minus cos theta. Okay, I'll press calculator. A tekan 1, B tekan negative 1, C tekan negative 2. So my calculator give me 2 and negative 1. That means this one, when you factorize, is cos theta minus 2. Another one is cos theta, okay, negative 1, right? So you have to write plus 1. Okay. All right, now what? Okay, can I cut this? The answer is no. The answer is no, because this one is cos theta minus 2. This one is 2 minus cos theta. So you cannot cut. It's not the same. But there's a negative here. And the negative, do you know you can write it down? Yeah, you can write it down. Actually, you can write middle also can. Yeah, it's the same thing. So what you can do, the negative letak bawah. But when you letak bawah, these two terms have to tukar tanda. So it becomes 2 jadi negative 2 sekarang. And then the negative cos theta jadi plus cos theta. And you can write it here. Okay. And kenapa saya buat macam tu? Sebab boleh potong. Yeah, you can cut. You see? Boom, boom. You left with cos theta plus 1. Oh, walaupun yang ini bukan right hand side, it's not the same as right hand side, but this is same as this. Right? That means we can just continue from here and work backwards and just go backwards until you reach the left hand side, right? So now what I will do is I will do something very weird here. I will take the 1 plus cos theta. I will multiply with cos theta minus 2 over cos theta minus 2. Some of you might ask me like, sir, how you know have to multiply with this? Yeah, because I tengok sini lah. Yeah, because I'm already here, right? I'm already here. I just have to work backwards. Okay, yeah. So imagine kalau saya tak buat yang ni, mesti saya tak tahu kan kena darab dengan ni. Yeah, but since I did this, now I know have to do this. Okay. And for those who's asking, sir, boleh ke darab dengan cos theta minus 2? Boleh. Sebab you sebenarnya darab dengan 1 tau. Tengok, dua ni sama. You darab dengan 1. Right? Yeah, so you can darab with whatever you want. Just make sure bawah pun darab benda yang sama lah. So yeah, this is legal. Yeah, it's like mathematically correct when you darab dengan ni. Because you're just darab dengan 1. So you're not actually changing the question. Okay. All right. The reason why I darab is, yeah, you know, right? Is because you want it to look like this. So the bawah never change. And then atas darab atas, you will expand this, right? Yeah, you will expand this. So dia akan jadi 1 plus cos theta bracket cos theta minus 2. So I'm gonna expand, and you already know what we will become because you saw it from here already, right? So 1 times cos theta is cos theta. 1 times negative 2 is negative 2. Cos times cos is plus cos square theta. Cos theta times negative 2 cos theta. Okay, now we have to work towards this thing, right? So what I'm gonna do here, okay, the cos theta minus 2 cos theta boleh buat. Wait. Wait, what should I do now? I think I should take out the negative, right? Betul lah. Yeah, I think I should take out the negative. Wait. Wait, it's a bit weird, negative. Okay lah, I buat yang ni dulu. Cos theta minus 2 cos theta. So 1 cos theta minus 2. 1 minus 2 is negative 1. So negative cos theta. And then minus 2 tambah dengan cos square theta. Over cos theta minus 2. And for the 2 here, what I will do is I will tukar jadi, I will take out negative first. I'll take out negative, and then later the 2 tukar jadi 1 plus 1. Yeah. Okay. Okay, let me tell you why I take out the negative. It's because, yeah, you want it to be like this. Eh? Yeah, you know it already. You're just doing it backwards now. Eh? Yeah, so what I will do, this one is cos theta minus 2. I take out the negative so that it becomes cos theta. And then minus 2 tukar tanda jadi plus 2. Yang ni pun tukar tanda jadi minus cos square theta. Right? So now you have this. Now it's time to tukar jadi ni 1 plus 1. So the 2 have to jadi 1 plus 1, right? Okay, I'm just gonna continue here. So cos theta minus 2 negative bracket cos theta. Okay, for the 2, I'm just gonna write 1 plus 1 like that. And then minus cos square theta. Okay, so now it becomes okay, I forgot what I want. Uh okay, I want sine square, right? So 1 minus cos square is sine square. So do I have 1 minus cos square? Yes. So this whole thing will just become negative cos theta plus 1. And then the 1 minus cos square is just plus sine square, right? And then what about the negative? Okay, the negative, you should place it down, right? Yeah, the negative, you should place it down. Because you factorize on top and then place it down, so you become 2 minus cos theta. Because when you place it down, dua-dua ni tukar tanda. So cos theta jadi negative, and then negative 2 jadi positive, right? Okay, is it already same? Okay, the negative have to erase already lah, because you already place it down, right? So you just left with something like that. Cos theta plus 1 plus sine square over 2 minus cos. Yeah, it's already the same. We just have to arrange a bit. Sine square plus cos plus 1. So the sine square they write first, and then plus cos theta plus 1 over 2 minus cos theta. Okay, 2 minus cos. Yeah, that's already the left hand side. Okay, so as you can see, okay, let's finish it. Proven. Okay, I want to talk a bit more. So you can see I start from the right hand side, but I do until halfway I realize I'm stuck. So what I do is I do it from the left hand side, and then I left hand side and the right hand side I end up with the same thing here. And then from here on, I'll just work because I'm already here. So I just work backwards. Yeah, just work backwards until I get this. Yeah, so this is, so the full working is here until like, yeah, until here lah. Yeah, these are all the working. Yeah, I write all my workings here. Okay. Okay, hopefully you understand. Okay, now we do 15B. Is this the last question? Yes, yes. All right, that's good. Let's finish it. Okay, B. Solve the equation sine 2 theta equals negative cos theta for theta between negative 180 and 540. Oh my god, they want between negative 180 and 540. Okay, don't worry about this first. We just find the answer for theta between 0 and 360 because we know how to do that. Right? We know how to do that. So we just find for 0 to 360 because 0 to 360 punya jawapan is between negative 180 and 540 also. So confirm you will take this answer. Okay. After we get the answer within from 0 to 360, then only we worry about negative 180 and 540. Okay. All right. So let's start to do now. Sine 2 theta equals to negative cos theta. Okay. This question you don't have to lukis because you're trying to find theta. Okay. Soalan jenis ni tak payah lukis one. Kalau dia suruh cari something theta, let's say dia bagi tangent theta equals 7 or 5, and then ask to find cosec theta. Those kind of question you have to lukis because they ask for they ask you to find cosec theta, not theta. This one they ask for theta, so no need to draw, no need to lukis. All right, first step, you can use double angle here. The double angle formula, sine 2 theta can change to 2 sine theta cos theta. Yeah, this is the double angle formula, and then equals to negative cos theta. Okay. Okay, when you reach here, there's two ways to do it. Ada dua cara. Satu cara yang betul, satu cara yang salah. Let me show you the cara yang salah. The cara yang salah is you pindah jadi bahagi. You pindah jadi bahagi, so dia akan jadi 2 sin theta, and then cos theta bahagi cos theta equals negative 1 like that. And then you pindah sini jadi 2 sin theta plus 1 equals 0. Ini cara salah. This one salah. Okay, ini cara salah. So, apa cara yang betul? Okay, cara yang betul bukan pindah jadi bahagi. You pindah jadi tambah. So, it becomes 2 sin theta, cos theta plus cos theta equals 0 or 1. Okay, if 1 then no. Because if 1, then imagine if this one pindah balik. Dia jadi 1 minus cos theta tak sama kan? Yeah, it should be 0. Then when you pindah balik baru dapat ni kan? Yeah. So yeah, this one memang kena tahu lah. Alright, I'll explain it. Okay, I'll explain it here. Okay, I'll give you two example here. You have the first one and second one. I remember teaching this to my own student also. Yeah, this when you masuk form 5 trigonometry you kena tahu pasal algebra ni. This one not many people know about it. Yeah. But if you're facing SPM, you need to know this lah. So ada dua cara tau untuk pindah Y ni. Satu cara is you pindah macam ni, tapi bila you pindah macam ni dia equal 0. Okay. Another way is you pindah jadi bahagi. Tapi kalau pindah bahagi dia jadi 1. And then you cut. Uh, okay. Cut like that. Okay. So this is one way to do it. This is second way of do it. But I put star here. For initial, don't do number 2. Yeah, for initial, don't do number 2. You know why? Because if you do number 2, you will end up cutting the important information. So later your answer will be not complete. It will be not complete. Jawapan you tak lengkap nanti. Contoh, ada 4 jawapan tapi mungkin you dapat 2 saja. Sebab you sudah potong one of the important information. So try to do number 1. Especially the beginning steps, the initial steps. Okay. Yeah, the beginning steps always do number 1. Okay. Yeah, so make sure you are aware of this. So that's why I pindah jadi minus jadi tambah. Okay. Because if I cut then my answer will be not complete later. Okay, so yeah, this is the correct way. Okay, sampai sini you have 2 terms here, and both these 2 terms can divide by what? They can divide by cos theta. So just factor lah. So 2 sin theta plus 1. Okay, because you divide both terms with cos theta. Sekarang you have bracket times bracket equals 0. Boleh lah ambil first bracket equals 0, and then the next bracket also equal 0. Okay, cos theta equals 0. What's your theta? Okay, this one is normal case or special case? If it's a special case, you cannot use calculator. Yeah, because the angle doesn't belong to any quadrant if it's special case. But if it's normal case, then you can use your calculator to get the reference angle and then convert to the quadrant. Yeah, use the add sugar to coffee and then check which quadrant lah. But if cos 0, this one is special case. Yeah, and the answer is 90 and 270. Okay. Yeah, you can see the angle doesn't belong to any quadrant. That's why it's called special case. But this one is normal case. Yeah, -1/2. This one is normal case. So for normal case, you will get the reference angle. This one can use calculator. Just tekan shift sign 1/2. Don't tekan the negative. So shift sign 1/2, you get 30 degree. But that's not the answer. That's just the reference angle. To get the theta, you have to check quadrant, add sugar to coffee, sign negative, quadrant 3 and quadrant 4. And then convert this to quadrant 3 and quadrant 4. Okay, if you want to convert reference angle to quadrant 3, you have to take 180 plus. So you get 210. And then to get quadrant 4 is 360 minus, you get 330. So these are all the answers. Kalau dia tanya between 0 and 360. Tapi ini dia tanya negative 180 to 550. So that is the problem, right? It's okay, very easy. What you will do now, okay, they take the 0, instead of 0, they want to start from negative 180, right? And then the 360, they want to extend to 540, right? So let me tell you what I will do. You will take all your answer, all these answers, you try to minus 360 and plus 360. Yeah, you try to minus 360 and plus 360 and see whether it's in this range or not. If it's in this range, boleh ambil. If it's not in this range, tak boleh ambil. Okay. So let me show you what I mean. Take 90 minus 360. Press your calculator. What do you get? Negative berapa? Negative 270. And tell me, negative 270, is it in this range? No. Negative 270 is outside of this range. So don't take. Now, what about 90 plus 360? 90 plus 360 is 450. And guess what? 450 is in this range because it's smaller than 540, right? So the 450 I have to take. Okay. Now repeat the same process with 270. Let's minus 360 dulu. 270 minus 360, I got negative 90. And negative 90 is in this range, by the way. So I have to add one value here, negative 90, answer is included. What about 270 plus 360? Okay, is it more than 540 or less than 540? Okay, I get 600 lebih. So confirm cannot ambil lah because it's already outside the range. So yeah, as you can see here, these are the answers. Okay, what about here? 210 minus 360 and plus 360. Okay, 210 minus 360, I got negative 150, and negative 150 is within this range. Yeah, it's within this range. So negative 150 is included. Okay, what if I take 210 plus 360? 570, and no, we can't take 570 because it's higher than 540 already. So it's outside of the range. So you cannot take that for your theta answer. Now for the final one, 330 minus 360, negative 30. And tell me, negative 30, is it in this range? Yes. Yeah. It's bigger than negative 180, right? So negative 30 should be one of the answer here. Uh, okay lah. I think I just padam, start from negative 150, and then negative 30, followed by 210. Okay, the last one is try taking 330 plus 360. Okay lah, this one 600 lebih already, so cannot take. So these are all the answers. Negative 150, negative 30, 210, and 330. Okay. Okay, last step is combine all the answers here and write it in satu baris. So dot 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 theta starts with the smallest number, which is negative 150, followed by negative 90, followed by negative 30, followed by positive 90, followed by 210, and then 270, and then 330, and then 450. Yeah, so got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 answers. 8 answers. Yeah. All right, how many marks for this? 3 marks. Okay, so that's all. Okay, kertas peperiksaan tamat. All right, so I think I'm done with this whole paper. Okay, and again, I just want to mention that I didn't really expect to be doing this paper this early. Yeah, because usually the SPM SEBENAR, they open it to public very late. Yeah, very very late one. They don't this one, I just do it one day after the one. I like the usually the paper will be open to public like it will take a very long time one. Like after the results come out, baru dapat one. Yeah. But this time I don't know why, like one day after the Addmaths exam is already open to public. So hopefully you all I think most of the people watching this is like my best 08 students lah, and yeah, hopefully you can, I'm sure you'll be like checking what mistakes you did, and yeah, but it's already over lah, so don't stress yourself too much. Yeah, just sudah lepas, so enjoy saja lah, yeah, and also you can leave a comment and tell me what you think, and yeah, or you wanna share to me your stories about uh how you think you did in the day one SPM can also, right? Okay, I'll see you when I see you lah. Okay, that's all. Bye bye.